I don't know why.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the RUMORNATI NETWORK, and we back with another reaction, but this time it's not from the live streams that we do daily. This one is a dedicated reaction, and as I was strolling the trails looking for sustenance, I came across this.
Besides PRE and CMG beef, we didn't know Dolph had a whole lot of local beef because he was so well respected around the Memphis community. What was the beef really about?
Before me and his altercation, you know what I'm saying, it was already other people he was beefing with.
What was your relationship with Govan? Was he one of your leaders or some in the music who was trying to get you signed? People think he was more than that.
So I can say that he was like a coach.
Yeah. The Dolph incident, man, a lot of stuff started going down in the street. How you feel about it?
Like a domino effect. We kind of all knew it like that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, brother lost his daughter, Gotti lost his brother.
When people hear your name straight drop, what you hope they think after watching this interview?
His jaw, walk down gang.
I have to credit the channel Pressure IQ. And this interview is supposedly with Straight Drop. Yes, Justin Johnson, the man who was found guilty of taking the life of young Dolph. Anyway, there's no need to waste time. Let's go ahead and get right into it. But before we do that, let me make sure I let you all know that everything we are watching is being used under the Fair Use Act for education, entertainment, research, and satirical and commentary purposes only. The views and thoughts represented in these videos do not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the RUMORNATI Network, its aggravating host, or its aggravating but ever so amazing chat. Let's go.
We got somebody on the line right now. Tell them who you will.
Draw.
Yeah. So we got Straight Drop in this joint. He hit me up. He wanted to tell his side of the story, pretty much addressing the allegation. What's up with it? How you doing today, Drop?
I'm cool, you know, one day at a time.
I appreciate you for joining the podcast, man. What you want to tell the people? You know what I'm saying? You got an opportunity. The mic is yours right now.
Hey, nah, what up?
Yeah, you know, man, big walk down gang, that's the show.
That's the first thing you choose to say, walk down gang?
It's a lot to this situation, you know, and a lot to how people view me and look at the situation. And I know it's a lot of people that hate me because of the image that they have painted and how they make me look like I'm just a villain and I'm just, you know, bad to the people and setting a bad example. Yeah. You know, but I'm here to speak on this situation and enlighten everybody.
What you want them to understand?
I want them to understand that every story has a substance or in my situation, I just want people to know that it's always something that led to the next.
Yeah.
As y'all may not be aware, I was very interactive with Young Dolph.
Yeah.
Me and Young Dolph had conversations on the regular.
For sure,
but, you know, sometimes situations get to a head and
obviously this is edited, which is no problem at all, but Straight Drop says that he had constant communication with Dolph. He was always talking to him. Yes, so that confirms, like the picture shows right behind me, right? They were close. He was within close quarters to Dolph a lot of the times. Let's go.
Let the people know where you from, how you grow up.
Yeah, you know, I'm a Memphis baby, you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I ain't had no father figure like that. You know, I had people that were like role models, you know, like all my niggas them, they was carjacking and robbing. So you know that, you know how you come up in an environment and you kind of be a product of it. You kind of be a product of it, you know. First I want to shout out to Mom Du. Mama, I love you, you know. And I want to shout out today. That, you know, she been 10 toes down for this whole little beat. You know what I'm saying? But also I just want to my child, you know.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I still go hard.
Go hard how? Doing what? Burpees?
You know, my mama did it. She did the best she could to raise me. You know, coming from the slums, come around where everybody kill everybody over a little bit of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from, you know, Westwood through South Memphis to the north. You know, I'm getting through there.
I heard that. So how old was you when you first got involved in the streets?
I ain't gonna lie. I was a young nigga though. I ain't gonna cap. I was like 8, 9, running around the corner.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I should say they name because they might not want it. You know what I'm saying? But these you know, I looked up to. They know who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say Curry. He know exactly who I'm talking about. Curry, like, bro was one of them niggas having motion. You know, popping these. I was like, damn, I'm gonna be like this one day. Fresh as hell. Pulling up in the machines and
that leads to another question. Has anybody tried to like keep your head on? You know what I'm saying? Keep you out of trouble?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, the Muslims.
Yeah.
It almost seems like getting locked up and turning Muslim go hand in hand for a young black man. Like, what is the connection with jail and the Nation of Islam? What's going on? How come you guys only find religion once you get in trouble? How come you can't be a Muslim or a Christian or a God body or 5% or a Buddhist or whatever in the free world and not the 313? Detroit, what up though?
As far as in this situation, but you know, my mama always. But you know, I got through my homeboy. They on me. They with me.
Yeah.
The niggas I grew up with, even though one of my best friends was the one that turned on me, you know, I still got a few other partners.
Yeah.
You know, my little men and them.
For sure. What's the biggest misconception people have about you?
I feel like the biggest misconception is calling me a menace to society.
I feel
feeling
that.
like I'm just gone. Get the shooting and kid body.
Yeah.
Because of one situation.
Okay, I understand that. So let's talk about your music career for a second. Like, how you get involved with the music?
What? Music career?
So, you know, I really always liked the music. Music really just, it came to me. You know how you spin.
Wait a damn minute. Did he really say that? Music career? Am I hating? Come on, let's go.
Just don't look back. And you fall on the track after that.
Yeah.
So my nigga never rap never like we just out. Cause they like this getting the yo. And you know, I got a whole different approach on music now.
Before everything happened, there was a conversation about your music career, the opportunity it had to take off. Like, how close did you feel you was to that opportunity?
To be honest with you, I feel like dog.
Which again seems like another indication of jealousy. What do you mean you felt like Dolph? Once again, you were envious. You wanted to be Dolph. You thought his life was yours. You thought you deserved what he had. Did you put in that work though? Oh, that was a bad question. I should have asked, did you put in the hard work legally in the record business to get yourself in a position? Oh, damn.
Like, you know, it's so many coming to sign, trying to sign you. And you know, you read through the contract.
Did y'all hear that? Grit money.
Let's go. $1.99 super chat, super step from Nurse Lady T walking in the door. She says, welcome in, like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. Y'all keep going. Super duper salute to y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out, waking up, having your lunch, and going throughout your day and finding time to tap in with the RUMORNATI Network. First of all, I gotta let y'all know everything we are watching, including that video down there below me, even though that guy looks very familiar, is being used under the Fair Use Act. Every video we watch is being used under the Fair Use Act for education, entertainment, research, commentary, satirical purposes only. The views and thoughts represented in these videos do not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the RUMORNATI Network. It's annoying host or it's aggravating but ever so amazing chat. Thank y'all for rocking out. How y'all feeling today? What's up with it? Hey, Self-Motivation says, hey man, check this out. Rest in peace, young Dolph. It's Dolph. That's a fact. Nurse Lady T says the Islam president is big. President is big is because it's covering. Oh, it's a big covering and a way not to join the gang as well. Right, man. They always join into the Nation of Islam. How y'all feeling today? I hope y'all feeling good, feeling great. What's up, A9? Super duper salute to you. I see you, Nurse Lady. What's up, man? How y'all feeling? Hope everybody's good. We could play a little bit more of this video, but if you want to see the video in its entirety, it is on the RUMORNATI Network, and I do give all credit to the person who conducted the alleged interview. But we can go ahead and get into something else, actually. Ain't no need to see two of me, even though, shit, what could be better, right? If only there were two of me, if I could duplicate myself. the things I could accomplish. Shit. But since I can't, we ain't gonna dwell on that. Shout out to y'all. We got a few things to get into for the day. I know y'all see what's in the title, the topic in the title. Van Lathan goes at Jay-Z. Van Lathan goes at Jay-Z. Amongst other things.
More on the...
Amongst other things, man. Amongst other things. Let's go ahead. Let's see, we 10 minutes in, we might as well get into it, right? No need to waste time. Time is never wasted when you're doing what you love, right? Bring the haters out. Bring all of them. Bring the haters out. We already know. All right. We're about to get into some of these topics that's a little bit touchy to a few people, and it's going to bring out some mods mount up. Green light on deck. It's a green light. Going to get them out of here. They come with the bullshit. Get them up out of here. All right. It's just that simple. Hold on. We're about to get right to it, you know. I'm sorry. I know you're probably listening and wondering what is going on. A few things at once. That about it. That's about it, y'all. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Everyone. Let me put on. All right, there we go. All right. Now let's get into it. Super duper salute to y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking out. Most aggravating chat in the game. Most appreciated chat in the world. Oh, y'all know what the most important part of this show is? The chat. Nurse Lady says, I hope you're feeling good. Even when I ain't feeling good, I still go out there and try to be great. You know what I'm talking about? And I wish the best for everybody. I hope everybody's doing the same. Super duper salute to y'all, man. You know what? I don't feel like reading. I'm going to pre-record that, and I'm going to be able to play that later on. I ain't doing that every day.
Mysterious death of Nolan Wells. We're joined by his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, as well as their attorney, Ben Crump. And before we get started, first off, I want to thank you for being here.
I'll say this. Soon as you say something that violates, you're through. Permanently. Ain't no timeouts, ain't no none of that. Green light on deck, you're gone. Don't violate.
These circumstances,
keep it respectful. No matter what side of the coin you fall on, keep it respectful.
It must be, and we can express how sorry we are for you and your family. And first question, how are you two holding up?
Taking it second by second.
Day by day.
Second by second and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they said he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would. Like,
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Mm-hmm. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're gonna ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I tell him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. So I always say, safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him to split from the group. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat, and usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's I think since last year he's been going there occasionally with his friends, and so it would always just be like, "Hey, Mom, I'm back," type of thing. But this time there was no call or text from him. It was from his friend.
And then too, really didn't worry a lot about it because it was his last weekend to have fun because that Monday he had to report to school. We was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season. So we're gonna see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about football not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, you have to understand. You have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, "Hey, have you guys seen Nolan?" Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, like they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, "Hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said, we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, "I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys." The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe that story, I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things that their parents were telling us about, even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there are so many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
It's okay.
Nolan, take your time. Nolan was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend that he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more for the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christine and Elmore Wansley. And I want you to please continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so infectious. It's almost like he drew you into him. And he was just one of those people, he always wanted everyone to be included. He didn't want anyone to feel left out. I remember one of his teachers emailing us, I can't remember what grade he was in, but basically it was math class. They had a special needs student, and she asked a question, and Nolan got everyone to put their hands down because he wanted that student to answer. And so the student answers the question, and she was like, "Christine, the classroom, Nolan went crazy, and everyone else started going crazy," just celebrating that child, making them feel included. And that was the person he was. He loved everyone. And I always told Nolan, you have to be careful when you have such a big heart like that. I love that God blessed you with that, but you have to be careful with that because that it's not always returned, that type of love. But he was just genuinely a good person. I always say, all the best parts of me are with him.
And Dad, anything else you want to add?
It's just, he's going to be really missed. I know a lot of his teammates, they all look to him as a leader. He's more like a silent leader. Not real big on words, more on action, which is kind of like I was. I really wasn't real big on talking. I really want to show you, and you follow me, and people follow him, and it just gravitated. He put in the work, he worked hard, and he knew he was focused on what he wanted, and he wanted to make life better for, you know, his family. He wanted to have his own family. He used to say, Dad, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I said, well, son, you got to take it one step at a time. Slow down, let's go, let's walk this thing out. You know, let's train, let's sign our deals, let's make these teams, make these camps, put the work in, and everything else will work out. Even his baby brother, their bond got even stronger, because now I have a big brother that he's finna do something, so now I want to outdo that. So his focus and his confidence has got even better. So I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons,
He seemed like he inspired in the home, and he inspired outside of the home. And Attorney Crump, where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, the deleted messages that Christina was going to briefly touch on, we want to get the phone and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like, there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael,
you know.
We having an independent autopsy done at the behest of his family. Colin Kaepernick helped pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement, because there's an issue of trust here that is really important. And the fact that they keep trying to say, well, suggesting it was a drowning, but nobody out there reported him drowning. It's not adding up, Michael Strahan. It is not adding up.
And honestly, we are doing this because at the end of the day, I would hope any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers.
Well, we really appreciate all of you being here. We hope you get the answers that you deserve to have, and we hope you get the closure that you need.
They were strong for them to be able to come and speak. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Nolan Wells' friend came out, right, and spoke. They said he was caught lying. Let me read some of the chat real quick. Mel says, hold on, wait, guys, hold on. Thank you all. Deborah Butler, how are you? Mel's good afternoon. Beautiful people, come in, kick up your feet and party to the like button. Oh, okay. Nurse Lady T says, if you're here, ring the doorbell and like the live. Exactly. Ring the doorbell. Nurse Lady T says, get the likes up. Y'all get the likes up, fam. YouTube, we need y'all to run them likes up. Why are we not at least 10 likes? We're 4 likes away from 10. I know you're strong enough, great enough, powerful enough, real enough to go ahead and tap that like button. If you're watching right now, go ahead and tap that like button. Show some love. Double tap your screen. If you're watching vertically, please show some love to the stream, please. Don Clay said, hi, what's up with it? Mel says, today is early direct deposit day. Make your way to the Rumonati Network store. 20% off all orders. Yes, 20% off all merch in the Rumonati shop until August 5th. We may extend it, we may not, but don't wait and see. Go ahead and get your merch now. Get you a mug, a hat, a sticker, or a shirt. And then you too can identify as a multi-millionaire. Nurse Lady T showing love. Mike from the Ville says hello and hit the like button on your way in or out. And shout out to the Rumonati. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Anam says poke that like button and make sweet love into it. Rosie Edwards says, hi, family. I'm in the UK watching and sending so much love, solidarity, and strength and true justice for our beautiful son, Nolan. Shout out to you, Rosie Edwards. Thank you. Mel says... Damn. What just happened? The difference between a mother that cares and a mother that is callous. And then Nurse Lady T says, yeah, too strong. There is no way I could do a press run and my son gone. I just couldn't do it. Get the investigation before speaking aloud, Anam says.
I just know I've lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Tristan Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. But there is growing frustration in the community, and his parents are skeptical, telling GMA Wells left his phone behind and they tracked it to one of his friends.
It was showing everywhere the phone had been, like it had.
Their lawyer said they will.
Just to relax and let everybody mourn the loss of Nolan, and let us remember him as in like the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
Reporting live from Ibis Club, Fight Plus News, information timelines from the accused. The day in which he would reveal that he was actually the person in the viral video at Horn Island heard yelling. In a new interview with Rolling Stone, Shepard would go on to admit that he wanted to fight someone after they would comment on he and his girlfriend arguing. I told him he needed to mind his own business. From the Rolling Stone article, it reads, Shepard says the exchange became heated and that he and the other man ended up getting into a physical altercation. Shepard's uncle, who had raised him like a father, told Shepard to get out of the water and onto his boat so they could head back home. Shepard complied, but once he got on the boat, he changed his mind and decided he wanted to go back. Shepard's friends had by that point begun defending him on shore. Around this time, another adult on a nearby boat started filming the video. My exact wording is, "Get me off this effing boat. I wanted to fight, and I feel like I hadn't had my fair share." Now, what makes Shepard's new admission interesting is that it looks to have exposed lies and inconsistencies with Nolan's friends, whom he traveled to the island with, saying that they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m. that day. If you can recall, the video that captured the aftermath of Shepard's confrontation would end up being captured at 4:01 p.m. And in this interview with Rolling Stone, Shepard would confirm that Nolan was actually in the water out of view on camera at that time, as well as noted in this new interview that he was around Nolan and friends at 3:30 p.m., meaning Nolan was still very much near everyone else, despite his friends reporting to police that they last saw him at 3 p.m. Now, from this Rolling Stone interview, Shepard's admission goes on to reveal, Shepard says the man in the video, who people think is Wells, is too short to be his 6'2" friend. He says Wells is not shown in the video at all, that he was just out of frame hanging out in the water. Now, according to official reports and a statement made by one of the young man's stepmother, who happens to also be a judge, Ashley Cole, would state her stepson and friends would leave the island around 4:30 p.m. due to issues with their boat. In her statement, she would say, Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last at around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taken on water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Now, what's interesting about this statement is that a leaked direct message from Warren's biological mother several days before to a Facebook user looks to contradict his statement by stepmother. To note, Warren's biological mom's message would take place before Nolan's body was found, in which it was only thought he was only a missing person, making it appear for some that this new
What it says is he repeatedly asked Nolan to get on the boat at 5 when it was time to leave, but Nolan wanted to stay with a girl and their boat was parked next to his. So the discrepancy is in the times. Just a few things. Just listen.
In which it was only thought he was only a missing person.
YouTube, I need you guys to run the likes up, please. If you're watching right now, I need you to go ahead and hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit that like button. We're 3 likes away from 15. We should go ahead and get up to 20 right now. Let's get the likes up to 20. Let's get to 20 likes, guys. Run the likes up. I know y'all strong enough, great enough, powerful enough, hype enough, real enough, and smart enough to hit that like button. It don't cost you a thing. I know you got enough energy in those Twitter fingers to hit that like button. Let's go. I need to see them lights go up, please.
Making it appear for some that this new changing of times and separating them to last seen Nolan at 3 p.m. is part of a cover-up. Warren's actual mother would go on to write, "I am Warren's mother, the woman you have been talking about on Facebook and posting pictures of our family. I'm here to tell you that we all love Nolan and we are deeply distraught. Your information is not correct and I ask you to please stop posting about Warren and our family. My son did not ride out with him, nor did he come back with him. The boat that Nolan was supposed to get on, Wyatt's boat. He repeatedly asked Nolan to get on the boat at 5 when it was time to leave, but Nolan wanted to stay with a girl and their boat was parked next to his. He was insistent about staying with this girl. Wyatt asked him several times to please get on the boat and the people heard him. My son loves him and would never in 1,000,000 years leave him. Warren does not even have a boat. Nolan has been to our house several times and he is the sweetest friend. We all adore him. Again, when Wyatt asked for him to get on, he said he wanted to stay and Wyatt's boat started to fill with water. His boat ended up breaking down and was towed in. Now as shown, Nolan is documented due to his friend's new interview with Rolling Stone to being near everyone at 3:30 p.m. and again at 4 p.m. when the altercation happened, and not 3 p.m. as stated by Warren's stepmom, as well as a leaked message from Warren's actual mom that now places Nolan speaking with his friends about leaving around 4:35 p.m. Again, not 3 p.m. It is under these conditions that speculation has grown and leaves the question of what happened. Now, according to a Facebook post that was made at the top of Nolan's disappearance, the young lady whom he was talking to's sister allegedly looked to have filled in more of what took place. According to her post, as
Said Katie had a conversation and assumed that Nolan was getting ready to get back on the boat he came out in. Katie made it home because she was on another boat with different people. Katie was safe because my brother and sister-in-law went and got her. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat wouldn't have left him. Me and my family have talked, called, and are sending prayers bring Nolan home. We have all given the answers we can give to his mom and authorities.
my brother wouldn't have. We have given all the reports. Some are now feeling that Nolan may have been swimming to get on the boat and his friends would leave him in the water, thus being an explanation for some on why his friends are now separating when they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m. and when they left, instead of it all happening at once as first indicated by Warren's mother to hide that they knew Nolan was in the water to get back on the boat.
So he was swimming to catch a boat. That's what everybody is saying. He swam out he tried to use his human speed to catch up with a boat. His human swimming speed to catch up with the speed of a motorized boat that was supposedly in haste because it had suffered a malfunction. So they had to hurry up and get back. No one else saw him swimming. If that was the case, the people on the boat never turned around and looked backwards, not one time. If that was supposedly the case, nobody on the island saw him going from the island trying to get back to land. Nobody saw anything. His body just happened to wash back up to the exact spot they were looking for him 2 days later. I'm no investigator. I'm a guy on the internet with a mask on. I don't claim to know anything. I don't have any inside information. I'm just stating what has been stated already. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. It does seem like foul play. Hard to prove,
great
though.
Fitness and condition. And so for them to try to say, well, we got his phone, but we don't know where he's at. And then he turns up dead. They are not accepting it, and there are so many questions, so many contradictions.
So, Ben, there is one of, you mentioned that the friends who came back, they returned Nolan's phone and some of his clothing to his parents, and their claim was that he said he was going to stay behind. I know there is one friend, a young woman who has come forward and has spoken to the police, and I'm wondering if she's spoken to you and how her version of events differ from what the other friends have said.
She hasn't spoken to us, but we know her statement that she released publicly. She said that she was talking to Nolan, and then Nolan said, well, I'm going back to the boat with the guys I came with. That's her version. Mm-hmm. She said that he did not leave with her, that he went back and got in the boat with the other boys. Well, the boys say that when they was talking to Nolan, he said he wasn't going to get in the boat with them, that he was going to stay with her, stay behind with her. So it's a contradiction. Their statements contradict one another, and that is something that's very troubling. On top of the fact that we know there are videos circulating where there's an argument where you hear Nolan arguing with somebody, and we're trying to say this is too much to just try to sweep under the rug. No, we want to have a thorough investigation as if it was 3 black boys and a white boy who was with them ended up dead. We want that same investigation.
I do have a question.
I think right there when he said that is when he lost everything. He should have just continued with the point about a thorough investigation. As soon as he said that, that's when it was just kind of like, but let's not pretend that it's not an issue here. But anyway.
Now, over a week has passed since 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was found deceased. And despite the world continuing to ask questions, many of the biggest answers are still nowhere to be found. Now, we've heard the rumors, we've seen the theories, and we've watched social media detectives dissect every photograph, every video, and every interview. But when it comes to the official investigation, the silence has been deafening. Where is the autopsy? Has the independent autopsy been completed? What evidence was recovered from the boat? Were forensic tests performed before the boat was returned? And have investigators ruled anyone in or out? Those are the questions people continue to ask because right now, there simply hasn't been enough information released to satisfy a grieving family or a concerned public. Today, we're going to break down everything we know, everything we do not know, and why every day that passes without answers only fuels more speculation. So before we get into today's update, we need to address the elephant in the room. Yesterday, a photo that was posted days earlier by Evan Noel spread across social media like wildfire. Now, Evan Noel uploaded what appeared to be a photo dump labeled Summer 26, featuring several different pictures. Now, the post was shared during the early morning hours of July 5th, 2026 to both his Instagram and his Threads account. Now, at first, it didn't receive much attention, but as people began looking through the photos after Nolan's disappearance and death, one image in particular started generating questions. Some viewers believed that they could see Nolan in the background, while others focused on what appeared to be a pool party with an older man who had USA shaved into his chest. Now, because of the timing of the upload, many people immediately began wondering whether these photos were taken after the group's reported trip to the island on July 4th. Now, according to people following the case, one woman commented on a Threads post asking, "Is that Nolan in the back?" She claims that shortly afterwards, her comment disappeared, she was blocked, and that particular picture in the photo dump eventually was removed. The remaining photos stayed up, but that particular post was no longer available. Almost immediately, people began speculating that this photo had been taken on the night of July 4th, after the group had returned from the island where Nolan Wells was last seen. Then things escalated even further. A woman identified as Alasia made a social media post claiming that Nolan had been beaten by at least 2 other boys and that this assault, not a drowning or accident, was how he lost his life. In her post, she also stated that
she says, I guess they called him No-No. If my name was Nolan, you can't call me No-No. See the USA in his chest? I'm going to play a video. It's going to be a bit controversial. Y'all might not like it. I understand. But anyway, the lady says, the girl who made the post says, bro, No-No didn't get into a fight at the island. It was our other friend No-No and Wyatt did get into an altercation right after that. What? It was our other friend. No-No and Wyatt did get into an altercation after that, not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone and even was trying to be hard. Nolan was definitely screaming, give me my effing phone back. What's wrong with you? So they all calmed down. So that's when we head to Evan's house because he was throwing a pool party. So yes, Nolan came to the party and yes, we were drinking, but Wyatt and Evan and Morgan and Andrew was really high. And I think they were trying to get Lucy and Natalia to try some as well. But yes, they got into it again at the pool party. It didn't end well. It didn't end until almost 1 a.m. I know Evan, it should have been an S there. I know Evan's mom kicked us all out. Once they started fighting, it was Andrew and Evan and Wyatt and Warren was basically recording and laughing, saying, get him. And all I could hear was Nolan screaming, Mom. Oh, they were saying, get him. So it was supposedly Andrew, Evan, Wyatt, and Warren recording and laughing, saying, get him, get him. And all I could hear was Nolan screaming, Mom. So yes, I tried helping. Then his mom came out screaming, yelling, drunk, make us leave, and was saying she was going to call the cops on us if we didn't leave her house. But they didn't let Nolan leave, and Nolan was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over besides it, gasping for air and spitting up blood. But now his mom, and I know his mom, what? But now his mom know I just got off the phone with her. Oh, but now I guess she told his mother. But the way she said that was all over the place. I'm gonna screenshot this. Okay, let's continue.
Not a drowning or accident was how he lost his life. In her post, she also stated that she spoke to Nolan's mother about these allegations. It's important to point out that as of today, these claims have not been publicly substantiated by law enforcement. However, the story gained more attention after attorney Ben Crump, who is representing Nolan's family, reposted the pool picture with the following comment: Nolan Wells investigation update.
The streets are talking. Now listen, I don't know if these are facts or rumors because no official statement has been confirmed. We sometimes have to follow all clues until the truth is found. Here's what was discovered on social media last night. Social media allegations claim a photo exists of Nolan at a land-based pool party in Jackson County before 1 a.m. on July 5th. I'm gonna read these chats. And not one of these 25 people said that he was actually here at this pool party, meaning his body was driven back out and dumped. That also means that the judge is complicit and stepmom gave that statement knowing that the victim was at the house that night. This is just alleged. These are not my sentiments. I don't even know these people. Someone also says the worst part is that the boy's mother-in-law helped maintain a narrative that Nolan had remained on the island for several days and is now trying to turn the situation around by portraying herself as a victim of online harassment. Wow.
The streets are talking. Now listen, I don't know if these are Fulton County. According to Christine, she had never spoken to Alasia. Alasia was never one of Nolan's friends, and she does not know where those allegations originated. Since then, she attempted to contact Alasia. Alasia's page has been deleted, adding yet another layer of confusion to an investigation that already has more questions than answers. Now, while social media has been consumed with dissecting photos and rumors, someone who says he was actually there has decided to speak out. One of Nolan's friends, Tristan Shepard, has now come forward to clarify two of the biggest misconceptions surrounding this case. First, he addressed the now infamous beach video that many
lost my best friend.
This morning, a friend of Shepard's
Young said that they were able to verify their metadata. So I guess pictures to the Rolling Stone, and the Rolling Stone said that they were able to.
Oh, okay, so one of the friends posted this on July 5th. Is that proof though? Okay, Tristan Shepard, a close friend of Wells, confirmed that the pool party photograph was taken on Saturday, June 27th. Okay, so that pool party happened. Okay.
I've noticed with this case is that the longer the public goes without updates, the louder social media becomes. We've now reached the point where almost every photograph is going to be analyzed. Every interview is going to be dissected. Every facial expression becomes a theory. Every rumor suddenly becomes someone's version of fact.
Facts. That's what's going on.
A former Mississippi judge have came forward and confirmed the police ain't doing everything they could do to solve this Nolan Wells investigation, potential murder. And it's probably
based on an audio recording and some video that Nolan Wells can be heard saying, give me my freaking keys. Excuse me, give me my freaking phone. And there's been two different versions. Some said he said, give me my freaking phone, or some say he said, give me my ML phone. Regardless, he was asking or demanding his phone. Someone had his phone who did not have permission to have his phone. So the first thing I see, the simplest thing I see is who had his phone and why? And was that theft of the phone? Sometimes we look at the largest case, we try to get to murder, but the person that took his phone committed the crime right there. There are witnesses to who took that phone.
This is what we're talking about, man. This is how it looks like when somebody really wants to solve something. This is how it looks like if somebody really cares. This is how it looks like when there's a concerted effort to figure out what happened. You know what you don't do? You don't say, hey, do y'all want to talk? Nope, we ain't got nothing to say. IG deleted, phones off. We don't got nothing to say. Mama's a judge. Mama said don't talk. We good. Okay, cool. Hey, man, there's nothing, we didn't find nothing wrong. No, right? You get down to the bottom of this, man. If Nolan Wells
signed,
make them tell on each other.
By a judge in Mississippi to go after that person that had that phone unlawfully. We know, based on his own words, Nolan Wells' words while he was alive, he did not give whoever had that phone permission to have that phone. So was that theft? I think if an affidavit is signed, if it was presented to me when I was a judge, I would have signed an arrest warrant for the person for theft of that phone based on what I've heard. It'd have to be an affidavit format, but if it was presented to me, an affidavit format from law enforcement, I would sign the arrest warrant for, at least at this point, theft of the man's phone. We know who had it. We know who didn't report it to the family. The family had to go find it, and we know that Nolan Wells said give it back to him, and evidently it was not given back to him. Why was that? All of the other things I've stated, you piece it together. Is there enough right now for arrest warrants for murder? That is a good question. I do know at this point there should have been search warrants signed by a judge. Evidence should have been presented to a judge by now. We are nearly 7 days after July the 4th, when he was first reported missing. There should have been evidence submitted by Jackson County law enforcement agents. We do know at this point, low-hanging fruit. There should be an investigation about the underage drinking, who provided the alcohol. Those individuals could be immediately arrested based on if there was any sworn testimony presented to a judge. I believe a judge could immediately sign an arrest warrant for those who provided the alcohol to underage individuals.
There were a couple
with them. Our prayers have been and continue to be with them. My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on the 4th of July. So that's interesting.
Oh, we read that already.
So I'm going to be honest. We have not heard from our local authorities since last Tuesday. And that was because I sent a text. I was like, hey, this is Christine, Nolan's mom. Just wanted to get an update. We received a phone call, basically really no updates. And that was it. We've heard from no one else.
Wow. Mr. Crump, what's your reaction to that? Is there anything that indicates, is that abnormal for you as someone who's worked on many cases?
It certainly is, if you put it in context. I know I had the opportunity to talk with Byron Allen, and Byron and I really had a deep exchange, because we talked about if the roles were reversed, this investigation would be handled totally different. I mean, you invest for that, whatever they say. Nolan said, I volunteer that I'm just going to stay behind, and I'm not even going to ask for my
more about staying with a group, always
person they raised. He would not have done those things, but they have articulated that over and over again. And so we have to hold everybody accountable.
Thing that come out their mouth, like he decided to stay on the island and we left. That when they said that, that automatically just it turned me off, but it turned on a question like, I know he wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. I preach that to him every day. He would not do that. So you telling me that you're lying to me just off the rip, you're lying.
Argument. But those people of course said, no, Nolan was in an argument. And so now we have to continue to investigate to try to figure out everything that happened. But we absolutely do not accept that he volunteered to stay behind and he volunteered not to have his cell phone with him.
Yes, it's definitely unusual for any teenager to part with their cell phone. This young woman, Katie, who's been cited in these various recollections of what happened that day, do you know if she's been identified? Has anyone spoken to her?
She has been identified. I do not know if anyone has spoken to her. Again, we just have not heard much, right? From our local authorities, which we're glad that we have kind of taken this course, however it may end. We're glad we did, because of this right now, not, being able to have that communication. I just would think with situations like this, they would be more forthcoming, like, hey, let us keep you up to date. We understand the seriousness of the situation and, what you guys are going through. So yeah, but we don't know. We've never met Katie. I've never seen her in my life. She did reach out to me initially, just saying basically like it was a hey and bye type situation. And I was like, that's not what I'm getting from other people. So like I said, before, a lot of inconsistencies, and we just want transparency and a very thorough investigation, just like they would do for anyone else.
Enough said. Transparency and a thorough investigation. I don't think having the strength to go out and hold press conferences and do interviews in order to bring awareness and to make sure that something doesn't get looked over or swept under the rug is one thing. Right? This is a whole different thing. I don't see these people out trying to get publicity off this. I see, some various comments. Why would they? Awareness, strength in numbers, not allowing it to be not discussed, not allowing it to be not properly investigated. And if they weren't speaking out and they weren't putting so much pressure on the situation, how much longer do you think it would take, being that we haven't received they haven't received anything as far as the autopsy, nobody, there's no more questioning. There's no, the phone, like the lawyer was saying, why wasn't that investigated or a search warrant? There's just a lot of questions to be asked. So I think the parents are well within their right to, and they're also conducting it properly, especially based on the statement, that final statement that she just made right here.
We've never met Katie. I've never seen her in my life. She did reach out to me initially,
but the ending,
just saying basically like it was a hey and bye type situation. And I was like, that's not what I'm getting from other people. So like I said, before, a lot of inconsistencies, and we just want transparency and a very thorough investigation, just like they would do for anyone else.
Simple.
Breaking news coming out of Mississippi. According to outlets NBC News and ABC News, the GPS data and audio of the boat Nolan Wells and friends traveled to on Horn Island with has now been released. According to reports provided by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the boat would leave where it was docked at approximately 9:56 a.m. that morning on July 4th and arrive to Horn Island at 11:14 a.m. Now, when they would finally depart after claiming to last seen Nolan at 3 p.m., the boat would then leave Horn Island at 4:31 p.m. and return to its original departure dock at 5:44, according to report graphics. It then would travel into Fort Bayou around 5:52 p.m. before returning to the dock at 6:06 p.m. Later that evening, the boat would then go to Fort Bayou's boat launch at 7:19 p.m. From there, it traveled overland, presumably towed by a vehicle, to the Biloxi, Mississippi residence of the boat's owner. Now, as mentioned, a part of the story from Nolan's friends that they would have to get towed on their way back. Now, tonight, NBC would exclusively air a portion of what was discussed when it would make the call for help. In the audio, you hear one of the friends share that they were sinking, but everybody was on board and okay.
We're sinking. Can y'all please help? And is everybody on board in good health otherwise? Yeah, everybody's on board.
It still, however, leaves many people wondering what happened to Wells between 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. when his friends say they last saw him at 3 p.m. Now, it is also noted that Nolan, according to other accounts, was last seen by anyone as late as 4 p.m. As mentioned on Tuesday, the FBI has joined the case and in fact was revealed to have been helping local authorities early on, specifically because Horn Island is federal property. In an article by the Sun Herald, it reveals that the FBI will specifically be looking at forensic examination of the digital evidence investigators have collected. Upon research, these findings can include smartphone tracking via cell phone towers, deleted files, deleted messages, social media activity, and more. It appears now that for those who suspect his friends were behind his death, According to this newly released evidence, the incident had to have happened on or near the island. This story is still developing. Nolan Wells' funeral is set for July 20th in his hometown of Ocean Springs, Mississippi at the Centerpoint Church. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now,
There are significant new developments in the mysterious death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells that we want to talk about tonight. Now, Wells disappeared after boating with friends on July 4th weekend. Days later, his body was found in the water near Horn. How could no one help? How could no one notice? Well, today, the Jackson County District Attorney met face-to-face with Nolan's parents and their legal team for the first time. And after that meeting, the family announced that once investigators complete their work, this case is going to be presented to a grand jury. Now, to be clear, that doesn't mean charges are coming, but it does seem to suggest that jurors are going to review the evidence to determine whether any criminal charges should be filed. The family says the DA also made clear that no decisions about possible charges are going to be made until the sheriff's investigation is complete. And there's also another major development. And this involves one of the most important pieces of evidence in this case. Nolan's cell phone. The phone was reportedly with Nolan's friends. The family says that they believe content may have been removed from the device before it was returned. Now the phone is going to apparently undergo a joint forensic examination with both law enforcement and the family's independent experts reviewing the device together. They hope it can provide critical answers about Nolan's final hours. I want to bring in Dante Mills, a national trial attorney at Mills Legal. Good to see you, sir. Significant that the family met with the DA, but potential grand jury.
I thought that was Bo Money.
Does that signify to you that there's criminal culpability here?
Jesse, not yet. Listen, this is every parent's worst nightmare. You have your child goes out with friends and everybody comes back except your child. So I understand the position they're taking where they want answers. They want to know why this tragic situation happened, and they're willing to do anything to get those answers. And I think rightfully so. Any parent will feel the same way. But let's not jump to conclusions here. We also can't look at what the family is saying and kind of take that as law, because they're going to hear investigators talk the way they kind of want to ingest the information. So the investigators are saying, they're saying, listen, we're doing an investigation. We plan on moving forward. However, the evidence shows, the family can come out of that thinking, well, there has to be something there. So clearly they're going to have something to present to the grand jury, but that's not the case.
And to be clear, it does not necessarily have to be or would be a homicide charge. There could be other crimes associated with this investigation, even if somebody misled law enforcement, which I'm not saying happened, but you could present anything to a grand jury. Right?
Absolutely. And we don't have to be talking about murder or homicide. This could be an accidental death where there was evidence tampering, right? Where they tampered with the evidence, maybe deleted something from the cell phone that just seemed weird or odd, or put somebody else in a bad light. So they did that so they wouldn't look bad, even though it had nothing to do with the death itself.
I got to say, I'm a little confused by the cell phone. I've seen reports that the family hadn't initially handed over to law enforcement, and now it's going to be this joint examination both by the family's experts and law enforcement's experts and investigators. How does that work exactly? Have you ever heard of that before?
I have. I've actually done those forensic analysis of electronic devices where I've had my expert go in and capture these devices, actually get them from the investigators themselves. It's a little different than when you're talking about blood samples or something like that, when you're passing it around and you don't want to do that because it could be contaminated. With electronic evidence, those things are going to be consistent. It's going to show when a text message was sent, what was included in that text message. There's going to be time blocks and things like that that are really difficult to change and almost impossible to change. So I've had situations where I've done investigations at the same time as the federal or state investigators to try and get that data off of phones, laptops, computers, other things like that. It's different than what you normally think of like passing around blood samples or bullet, fragments or something, or fingerprints can be transferred or something like that.
Two things. One, there's also been a lot of talk about why he didn't have his phone, right? There's some conversation, well, if he went into the water, it'd be not uncommon for him to leave his phone behind, but then if he had gone off to talk with some girl, wouldn't he have his phone? Separate conversation. If it was in the if the phone was in the family's possession or in, Ben Crumb's possession for this period of time, does the evidence have to be excluded? Is it not contaminated in some way?
It doesn't, and that's just what we were just talking about. So I mean, some things are concrete, like that electronic data information of when it's sent or received, or if it was deleted. If, say, for example, the family got it, and someone's saying, "Oh, the evidence is bad because the family could have added that," there's going to be an electronic footprint of when that text was sent. So if it wasn't sent before the death, then obviously it wouldn't be included in any investigation involving the death. That's a little different when you talk about how high stakes those electronic data is, and how actually it shows you how beneficial it is to have that, because that's concrete.
Look, the family needs answers. That's the bottom line. I know they're planning an independent autopsy. I know we're still waiting for the official autopsy from the state. So let's see what happens next. Dante Mills, good to see you, my friend. Thank you.
Always. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
All right, this last video may ruffle a few feathers. Before we move on to the well, it's still kind of right up the same alley. Yeah, we're going to go from the Nolan Wells to a Carmelo update, then we'll move on to other things, you know what I'm saying? A little more lighthearted topics. This video may ruffle a few feathers. Once again, the views and thoughts represented in these videos do not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the Rumonati Network. Its aggravating hosts are its annoying, aggravating, but ever so amazing chat. You know what I'm talking about? Super duper salute. Let's go, guys.
The topic of discussion is still Nolan Wells. What happened to this, 18-year-old black kid who is no longer with us? We're now coming across new evidence that, when it comes to the phone, that, the family, the mother has the phone, the Snapchat, which he seemed to be very, very active and live on. There were no stories. So she's alleging that the phone was wiped, right? Like all the pictures and everything were gone.
Some of the Snapchat messages seem to have been deleted, and some text messages seem to have been deleted. And we believe that could prove very relevant.
I mean, that's a fair assumption because he clearly seemed to be active on social media, posting the videos of him, out in the water and yada, yada. And so they receive a phone upon him going out, on the 4th of July, right, on this island, that there's no videos, no pictures, nothing. Very suspicious. So she's assuming that, someone, we don't know who, wiped the phone before they gave it to her. Because at first, they didn't even give it to her. They didn't even want to give it to her. So now we come to find that out. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? To be brutally honest, I don't care. Damn. And I know that may be horrible, but I don't care. We have, Benjamin Crump, he's sleeping during an interview. Like, nobody cares about this. And I think that's sad, bro. All this because recently I saw they had a conference. They talking about, hey, we're going to throw a party to celebrate his life and everything. And this is how he would want it. Like, fam, celebrate what?
Hello, everyone. So
I agree.
The homegoing celebration, the funeral will be held at Centerpoint Church in Ocean Springs. What? We want to celebrate Nolan. And he would not want us to be sitting around crying and eating and
run the lights up, y'all. Run the lights up, please.
Was yeeted by somebody. We don't. All we know is your son is no longer here, and you talking about celebrate a party to celebrate your son's life. I mean, to each his own, but to me, that's foolishness, right? I'm not celebrating anything until I get justice for my son. That's it. There is no happiness. There is nothing. I want answers. And
I agree 1,000%. That's it. It's just that simple.
Until I get those answers, don't call me, don't text me, don't compliment me, nothing. That's it. That's all I want. Facts. So, but to each your own, as I said. Now, I bring this up and I say I don't care Because I said one of two options was the case for someone, in his disposition, we'll say. And that was A, his parents failed him, right? Or B, his parents didn't fail him and he just didn't listen. And just to interrupt for a second, I want to let everyone know of blackvotewatch.org. Those are pretty good options. Those are, most of the time, I would say 99% America. And those are pretty good options. Those are, most of the time, I would say 99.9% of the time, those are usually the cases with most people, right? Anyone who gets into trouble, right? Because I'm sure your parents probably told you, hey, don't do this, don't do that, but yada, yada, yada. And there are some times, especially when you're young, right, where you don't listen. And I understand. And there are those other times where you have just bad parents who didn't teach you anything, you don't know nothing. So you just out in the world, with the thumb up your butt. And it's just...
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
And I very much think it's the former, not the latter. But I saw this Roland Martin interview. And Roland Martin's asking the parents, he's talking about, hey, there are people out there that are assuming your relationship and how you raise your son. And they're questioning, you as a parent and, why you should, yada, yada, yada. And it's honestly an echo of the criticism that I levied against, the family, allegedly, right? Because I don't know. That's what I was saying. It's one of two options.
For you and your husband to see people who you don't know, who don't know you, who don't know your son, question you allowing him to be around white teens, questioning how you raised your son.
Now, the reason why I say this is because upon him asking her this question, she goes on the defense. She's like, well, he's just a beacon of light, and we can see this through all the friends and the community who have helped us during this time. And you know what? Roland was always a friend to everybody.
The amount of love and support that we've received from our local community, just the way Nolan's heart was, he was a friend to everybody.
And that right there, that was a pause. I'm like, first and foremost, what do you mean a friend to everybody? You can't be a friend to everybody. Why? Because not everybody's going to be a friend to you, fam.
2 more likes to get us to 35. YouTube, run the likes up. Please run the likes up. Send $1, $2 sign the Rumonati Network. If you're fucking with the content, we are going to move on to other topics. We got the topic in the title that we're going to address. We're about to show love to the chat. I'm about to make sure I shout out the top 10 first and foremost, but I need y'all to keep running them likes up, please.
Yeah, there are people who will stab you in your back. So if you go in this country, and this is another thing, you're not in Wakanda, fam. You're not in Wakanda, okay? You're in the United States of America. And if you know the history of this country, it is not very friendly to y'all, okay? It's not very friendly. I don't know why she's talking like, I don't know, she's a white woman in Europe. It doesn't make any sense. Well, just to be a friend to everybody and yada, yada, yada. No, I'm, like I said, to each their own, but I don't think that's a very valid way in raising a black man in this country. No, you don't tell him to be a friend to everybody, right? Now, that doesn't mean to be disrespectful, because issue I have is that she goes on to say that, we raise him to be, respectful, we raise him to be kind, we raise him to be friendly, yada, yada. The only thing I was listening for, what about being cautious?
We would never tell our child, any of our children, you are not allowed.
Hold on. One more time, bro. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. My bad.
Raise him to be kind, we raise him to be friendly, yada, yada. The only thing I was listening for, what about being cautious?
We would never.
She goes on to say that, we raise him to be, respectful, we raise him to be kind, we raise him to be friendly, yada, yada. The only thing I was listening for, what about being cautious?
You can't hide your child from the ills of the world. They're going to experience the ills of the world at some point. You can't shelter them. You can't lead. You have to keep it 100% with them and let them know exactly what they're going to be facing when they walk outside your door, when they leave that community that you feel is so safe and so family oriented that they're in, that ended up failing you in allegedly what seems like is failing you at this time. And I understand, right? What we have to do is let the investigation play out. We have to let law enforcement and the FBI, because the FBI is now involved, right? We have to let them do their job. But Personally, I feel like there is some sort of foul play here because there's too many other variables. Why wipe your cell phones? You know, why not return a phone knowing that you have it? What's the discrepancy of, even if you didn't know the phone was there, what's the discrepancy with returning it? Oh, here you go, no problem. It's just too many things that's left to question for me not to ask why this turned out this way. Why no answers?
Is that she goes on to say,
he's not wrong though. He's not wrong. Whether y'all like to hear it or not, even if you're Caucasian, first of all, I don't care. If you're my friend, just be my friend. If you're Caucasian and you refer to me, you're not going to refer to me as that when I'm around, because I'm going to tell you about it. But when I'm not around, if you're Caucasian and I'm not around and you refer to me as, oh, my black friend or some shit like that, then know in your heart you're not my friend. And eventually I'll see you, because I got a keen eye for these type of things. I pick up on it easily, even in your jokes. Even in your conversation, when you feel the need to always, when you talk with a black person and you always feel the need to bring up your interaction with somebody black, or you want to bring up certain foods that you had and all these that you try to align with the ethnicity. There's no need to do that. Have your regular conversation when you talk to me, or don't talk to me.
Now, that doesn't mean to be disrespectful, because issue I have is that she goes on to say that, oh, we raise them to be, respectful, we raise them to be kind, we raise them to be friendly, yada, yada. The only thing I was listening for, what about being cautious?
We would never tell our child, any of our children, you are not allowed.
Hold on, y'all. My fault. Larry Gibbs. Super duper salute to you.
Did y'all hear that? Grit money.
Shout out Larry Gibbs for that $2 super chat. Let's go. We appreciate you, brother. Keep running the likes up. Y'all keep running the likes up. Keep the chat active. I see y'all. We're going to show love to the top 10 in just a second. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I see the haters too. I love what y'all doing, because y'all help with the engagement. Just keep your racism respectful.
To associate with this person.
This ain't where you just get to get off and spew all kind of bull. It don't work like that. Keep it respectful. You might get to stick around.
Person over here because of the color of their skin, or because this person over here is purple. What? We have always told them to be kind, caring, and respectful to others, no matter who they were.
You raise them to be everything but cautious. Raise him to be everything but discerning of his of his surroundings, of his friends, quote unquote. That's the problem. And that's why we're in this situation to begin with, okay? That's precisely why. And of all places, I understand if you maybe can get away with that in like LA, right? Or in certain liberal states. But in Mississippi, no, fam. What are we talking about? I've been to Mississippi one time, and that's the only time I'll ever go to Mississippi. It was a horrible experience. They are very clear with not liking black people in Mississippi. Very clear. And so to raise someone,
Jenny from the block, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good to see you.
Like in this manner of, well, just be a friend and just be respectful and be kind. And it's eerily, familiar of this respectability, politics, where if you just dress right and you say yes, sir, and no, sir, that everything will be fine. OK, all the bad stuff that they talk about, the more racism, that's because it's the kids with the dreadlocks and, the sagging pants and, the ebonics that they speak. And you come to find out that that's not the case.
That's true. That's true.
That you can dot your I's, cross your T's, and you still get profiled, right? You still get abused. You still get looked over. And once you come to that realization, you realize, hold up, bruh. Hold up. What's going on here? I've been fed nothing but a pack of lies. And it's still coming. It's leading to the same conclusion. So, in a situation like this, it's unfortunate, but I don't care anymore because there's nothing to do. They want to, as far as have a conference celebrating the son, and the father's not speaking up very much. Maybe he's just a man of very few words. I don't know, maybe it is, but that's your boy. That's your son. I know everyone expresses their grief differently, yada, yada, yada. I've heard it all. I get you. But at the end of the day, I don't care anymore, bro. It's simple as that. I don't care. It's really that simple. Because if they seemingly don't care, or if they've raised them in a disadvantaged upbringing, then nothing I can do about that, bro. What you want me to go to bat for, bro? What do you want me to go to bat for? Because I would be raising hell, bro. Raising hell. You now have the FBI involved. Oh, Trump's FBI? What you expecting Trump's FBI to discover something? I don't know, man. I don't like any of this. Obviously, there seems to be some foul play involved. I mean, anyone with an IQ above room temperature can suspect that based off of what's transpired so far, with the sheriffs and everything. It's just, but I'm not getting that energy, bro. I'm not getting that energy of like, yo, bro, your boy is not here. He's not here. Your phone was seemingly wiped, and the kids are mom's a word. And they talking about, because I think it was on Fox News when the kids were like, I don't know why, people are threatening us. We love the Nolan, and we just have to allow the investigation to play out and yada, yada.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
And I'm just like, bruh, we saw how the investigation played out when it came to Ahmaud Arbery, bruh. They were about to sweep Ahmaud Arbery's death under the rug. That's what was about to happen. We've seen how these investigations play out. And you know what? If you keep on wanting to see how the investigation play out, then go ahead, fam. I'm not going to be there with you. Damn. I really am not. I'm past that point. Respectfully, I've covered enough stories. I've covered enough Black death. And if you Negroes want to hoop and holler and talk about we got to see an investigation and we're going to have a party celebrating his life, and not his death, because that's how he won't, and we're going to do a protest and knock yourself. You have fun. I might as well play freaking, Assassin's Creed Black Flag at this point. If that's what y'all going to do, if that's how you are going to spend your time, keep me out of it, bro. I don't care. I don't want to hear any updates. If it comes to find out that foul play is involved, because the foul play that I would automatically suspect is that they said he drowned. They didn't do an autopsy. They don't know nothing about nothing, but the Mississippi POS department already claimed, yeah, he drowned. How you going to say he drowned if you don't know anything about what happened? You haven't even looked at the body, you haven't analyzed the body, But why am I getting more upset than the parents? Nope, not gonna happen. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. If you all still, this is so sad, this is horrible. Or if you're like, I don't want to hear any of that, bro. All right, you know how many hangings that I've covered, bro? Right? How many hangings they want to say, oh, the person just did it themselves? Huh? That's what you want to do. We're still having, I still can't believe the 1-year-old black kid. Y'all remember the 1-year-old black kid, I believe, at Walmart? That officer hasn't been charged. Huh? If you can't go to bat for a 1-year-old child, fam, it's a wrap. It's night. Call it, it's game, bro. It's game. That's what that is, bro. Because all hell should have broken loose, bro. All hell should have broken loose. They keep on calling you a monster, calling you a criminal, calling you a villain, and you keep on trying to appease them. I say embrace your villainry.
I have to say this once again, right? Because this could be The views and thoughts expressed in these videos do not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the Rumonati Network, its annoying host, or its aggravating but ever so amazing chat. If you want to know my thoughts, wait till the end, and we can probably discuss some of it. But we got a show to run, and we got more topics to get into. I'm just giving you a full scope, a full spectrum of what's going on. I'm going to chime in here and there, give you a thought here and there. I will say this, though. I do agree with the last video from Lucas about being cautious. And anybody who would say that to teach your child that is racism, or is prejudice, or whatever. We have to not ignore the elephant in the room, which is historically what has happened, right? And every time they say that, oh, let the past go, all that, y'all bring it up more than we do, right? This channel is, for example, we can be discussing, have 3 hip hop topics. Somebody will come in and say, typical liberals, Democrat, look at them, all this other stuff, acts instead of ask. You wake up with hatred. I don't wake up giving 2 fucks about you. But anyway, we're going to just round this Nolan Wells topic off with a guy by the name of Dogface. Hell of a name, right? And he's a little more edgy than Lucas. So I have to say, once again, this is being used under the Fair Use Act, for education, entertainment, research, and satirical commentary purposes only, and the views and thoughts represented in this video does not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the Rumonati Network, its host, or its chat. Feel free to express yourselves, no matter what side of the coin you may fall on, but please do it respectfully. That's all that we ask around here. Doesn't mean that we agree or disagree or will even address you. But you do have the right to express yourself. Just please do it respectfully. Let's get into it and we'll move on.
A victim because they were jealous of him in total.
We got to shout out the top 10, and we also got to make sure that we super duper salute the chat, man, because we done aggravated the algorithm with 50 likes. Let's go.
Jealous of his looks. They were jealous of course, the females that were attracted to him over them, right? They were jealous of his athleticism. They were just jealous of him, like a lot of white people are. A lot of white people have jealousy issues and envious issues about black people. Even white people who are doing better than black people, they still find some reason to not like black people for a variety of different reasons. And and this goes back to slavery. This goes back to the Jim Crow South. White people have always been jealous and envious over black people for nothing more than because of the color of our skin. They condemn us because of the color of our skin, but they're envious because when you look at all the things they do to turn themselves brown or turn themselves darker with the tanning, the tanning salons, all that kind of shit, all that's just about jealousy. When you look at what white people do in terms of transforming themselves surgically, especially and particularly white women, everything they do is to try to mimic lips, everything is trying to mimic because there's no. When you look at white can't be.
Where's the no?
You bring up something interesting that you posted, man. You know, it was reported that he went missing on the 4th of July, but a photo showed up on July 5th of him partying with his friends.
The wee hours in the morning, about 1 a.m.
And when you initially saw this photo, what stood out to you about that picture, bro?
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, brother, what stood out to me was the fact that he was the only black person in the photo. Again, right? When you see photos of Nolan, the photos that have garnered the most attention, the photos that of his friends and of his friend circle, all I see is a young black man standing in a sea of white people, right? And in my mind, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? So in my mind, if we could take this, if we can rewind time and go back, and if you were to ask me, if you were to put the photos of Nolan and his white friends in front of me, right? You can look in the eyes of some of the white boys and see the devil in them.
Particularly on the phone, you told me about the guy with the USA cut into his chest. Speak on him if you can.
So when you look at the photo of them in the pool, right? It appears to be all teenagers or young adults, right? Certainly no more than 21, 22 years old. Just by the look of them, you can tell, that they were all young adults. And then when you zero in, you see a big burly ass cracker with hair on his chest, and so he shaved USA into the hair of his chest. It stands out. People talked about how you have the picture you have the image of the white guy, the kind of like a bigger white guy with his arms around a little smaller white guy, and you can see the look of distress. It appears to be distress on the white boy's face, right? But I didn't even pay attention to that shit, right? I zeroed in on the fact that this guy looks to be 30-something. You can tell that he's not in the same age group as those guys.
Too old to be hanging out with them.
He's too old to be hanging out with them in the pool. What are you doing, freak ass nigga? And then when you look at him, when you zero in, you have to zero in. When you zoom in, he has a full chest hair, like the Neanderthal he is, like the Homo eblibicus tool man he is. And you can see his USA shaved into his chest. Right there. And to my point, if you would have asked me about this situation prior to it happening, and if you would have showed me all these pictures of Nolan with all these white boys, I would have told you what I'm telling you right now. He was in trouble long before Horn Island. He was in trouble long before his murder. Them boys have been plotting on him for a good long time, like white boys do.
You don't think he could have picked up on that? Like, these motherfuckers don't like me.
Absolutely not. You know why he couldn't pick up on it? Because, respectfully, black parents, especially black people who have money and they have access and they have the ability to move themselves where they want to move themselves, a lot of black people, they're not teaching their children. First of all, a lot of them have convinced themselves that racism don't exist, right? And so therefore, if you're a parent, if you're a guardian of any kind, if you have convinced yourself that this world has come so far along socially that racism doesn't exist or it's not a major impact on anything that's going on in society, you're a fool, right? And you destined for trouble, right?
Especially down in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Damn. Sorry, Mississippi, man.
Hey, listen. When you have money and you're able to move your family or resituate your family into what you hope to be a better situation based on economics, when you fail to teach your kids that racism exists, when you fail to teach them some of the telltale signs to understand, to be able to interpret when things are going left, they're walking blind into the shit, right? You can look at the behavior and the activity and the actions of those people immediately after, even before his body was discovered. You can look at the actions of all the white people involved. They went to shutting down social media. They went to scrubbing their social media accounts. They went to erasing pictures, and they went to coming up with an excuse to justify where Nolan was, and where he wasn't, and where he couldn't have been. Right? You look at the parents, some of the parents shut their social media down. This is before his body was even discovered.
I'm gonna tell you something that's kind of creepy to me that stood out, bro. If what you're saying is true, how could all those kids in that photo witness something so brutal and agree to say nothing about the goddamn murder, bro? They all agreed, look, we ain't gonna say nothing.
Is that a real question?
Yeah.
Let's travel back to, I think it was 1956. Emmett Till was murdered. He was brutally murdered. He was savagely murdered by a mob of white people who all said nothing when questioned. Not to mention the fact that law enforcement was on their side, just like law enforcement in that little bitty hick-ass town in Mississippi. Law enforcement is on the side of them white boys back then. See, white people who engage in devilishment, they can look you right in the face and have no problem with telling the story, because who wants to go to jail about a nigga to begin with? And then when white people, if white people ever want to communicate to other white people, right, anything, Why would we go to jail about a nigga? If you say something, that we're all going to go to jail. Even the people who were not there, even the people who were not directly accomplished to it, the people who knew about it after the fact, right? Why would we go to jail about a nigga? That's enough to make white people shut the fuck up. Why would we send our sons and daughters to prison over a nigga? It's never gonna happen. So for all the people who are saying all white people ain't bad, hey, listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. All white people don't have to all agree about or all believe in something in order for those who do believe in something, in order for those who do have a diabolical, wicked ass plan, all white people don't have to agree with all white people in order for some white people to engage in devilishment, bro. It just takes 1%. 1% white people in this country is enough to destabilize everything from a racial, social perspective.
Let me ask you this. How you think that went? How you think that conversation went? All right. God bless his soul. He's murdered. Mm-hmm. Now, it's everybody else is there. You think it was one guy? Let's say the USA guy. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Allegedly. Yeah. Got everybody in the hood. Look, y'all don't say a goddamn. How you think that speech went, man?
Well, so listen. With white people, it doesn't take much in order to trigger their self-preservation. It doesn't take much to trigger that self-preservation button in white people, right? It's a simple conversation, right? Now that even if they didn't know it was going to happen, once it started happening and immediately thereafter, what do we do? What do we do? It's easy to formulate that plan. It's easy for an aggressive, angry, vile, devilish ass white boy to convince everybody else to shut the fuck up, because what's the alternative? The alternative is because we listen, this is Mississippi. Mm-hmm. You are motherfucking live. You think that Mississippi, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, right, about Mississippi. There can be no racism anywhere else in this country, but we know for a fact that Mississippi, they still holding that motherfucking animosity and resentment towards all things black.
It's almost like the racism ain't gonna never die down there.
Never. Why? They manufacture that shit down there. In Mississippi, they manufacture racism in laboratories down there, and they
What's up, y'all? I'm about to show some love to the chat. Show some love.
Years ago. So that tells you about the mentality of the people who run the political system and who influence the social spectrum of what goes on in that motherfucking devilish, demonic ass motherfucking state.
That's creepy, man.
First and foremost, let me show some love to the top 10. All right. At number 1, we got Nurse Lady T. At number 2, we got Anonymous 1. At number 3, we got XO Males. At number 4, we have Mike from the Ville. Number 5, we got Larry Gibbs. Number 6, we got ZVY. Number 7, we got Jennifer Hodge, Jenny from the block. Number 8, we got Kiki 607 Kiki. Number 9, we got Bag This One. And number 10, we got George Cassiano. Super duper salute to you. And then number 11, honorable mention, we got Reginald Bivens. Thank y'all. Let's go. Shout out to the top 10. We also got Laugh Till We Drop sent the gift. I see the star for 2 jewels. Shout out to you, Laugh Till We Drop. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody.
Indeed, another op.
Let me see what the chat has to say about where we are so far. Let's see what the chat got to say about where we are so far. Super duper salute to y'all. Antonio Naylor says, but the Wisconsin, no different. He says, I'm from Alabama in Mississippi, but Wisconsin is no different. Laugh Till We Drop says, I say a majority of, oh, wow. I don't know about that. A majority of black people despise white people? Or is it a majority of white people despise black people? Or is it a majority of people despise people that they don't have understanding of? Is there no way to ever get understanding? Is the theory or the idea of peace out the effing window? Anybody wishing for that is foolish? Is that what we saying? That's where we at? Shay says, hey, Rumor and gang, I'm at work, but I'm here. What's up with it, Shay? Super duper salute to you. XO Mel says, oh yeah, that is messed up. Let's see the likes go up or the viewership go down. Facts. Y'all know how I do. I like to see the likes go up, run them likes up, or run that viewership down. That means get the F out of here. If you're not going to engage, if you can't hit the like button, which costs you absolutely nothing, you might as well leave, because we're not going to beg you, even though we might say please. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't going to beg though. So hit the like button, run them up. We at 62. Why are we not at 65? Let's go ahead and round that off. I know it's closer to 60, but you can't go down. So round this way, we'll be up. Let's go up. Let's get to 65 likes. 70 is not that far away. Come on, man. We can do 8 more, but I'm only asking for 3 right now. Only asking for 3. I know you guys are smart enough, strong enough, brave enough, powerful enough, intelligent enough, and great enough to run up at least 2 more points. We got 60. Boom, 65. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. 100, we aggravate the algorithm. We at 65. 70 is 5 likes away. I like to see them likes go up. Let's show some more love to the chat. What we got going on? Octavius Henderson says, easy. Mel says, send $1 to $ the Rumonati Network on Cash App, or send a $1 super chat to show your support for the channel and who's giving you the content. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mel. Super duper salute. Tara Anderson says, he's right. The parents were responsible to protect him about the ways of the world regarding race. I think all parents, regardless of race, should always inform their children about the ways of the world regarding all social issues, because your child is going to run into them. You can stop your child. You can be a hate monger. You're going to breed hate. Whatever goes on in your household, your child is going to bring that outside to the world. It's just that simple. Whatever you expose that child to, they're going to show it in the world. So when these kids do and say certain things, we know where it comes from. You have a hateful household. Steve Austin says, because Stone Cold said so. My bad. That's a very broad stroke considering the investigation is still ongoing. Excuse me. Nurse Lady T, I see you. Anam says, Sally, you're making yourself seem some kind of way. You sound jelly. I don't even know who Sally is. Shout out to Jelly. Craig Tomlin says, why would anyone care about what this broke bum has to say? Damn. Mike from the Ville says, why y'all wait till now to comment? I know y'all been sitting and watching the whole time. Don't comment on any other content but race topics. You're easily controlled. Exactly. You wait until we discuss race and then you pop out. Hey, let me just get here and call you something. Shout out to you guys though, man. Will says there is no cover up, for fuck's sake. You're just a racist moron. Bada Bing says he's not 30. He's on steroids. Anam says he got grizzly bear chest hair. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Let me read the most current. Goonie Man says we have changed, just not quick enough. Double O says humans will never change. Mel says the funniest thing to me is you're here to race gaslight us over here on this channel with thousands of black people in the community. It's only peace after war. Y'all. Is that y'all bro? Y'all bro. Y'all bro. I hope I'm saying your name right. I don't mean no disrespect, I swear. Andy Coleman says, hello, everyone. Hello, Andy Coleman. Hello, Andy Coleman. Thank y'all for rocking out. Thank y'all for running the likes up. Y'all did that quick. One more like. Let's round that off. That's 74. Go ahead and be that difference. Go ahead and get that like up to 75. Let's go. Let's go. I appreciate y'all. The most aggravating chat in the game. The most appreciated chat in the world. Y'all so aggravating. Y'all know we get to the 50 likes. That's when we aggravate the algorithm. 100 likes is when we break the ceiling. I thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We done made it to the 50 like threshold. Y'all so damn aggravating, but y'all are so appreciated. Thank y'all. So much for being aggravating.
So aggravating as hell, man. You're aggravating. Aggravating.
Keep shaking up that algorithm, y'all. Keep running the likes up. Keep the chat going. And we're going to keep rolling with the content, man. I thank y'all for rocking out with the Rumonati Network. We're streaming live from the tent in the woods in Wyoming. Everything we are watching is being used under the Fair Use Act for education, entertainment, research, commentary, satirical purposes only. The views and thoughts represented in these videos do not necessarily represent the views and thoughts of the Rumonati Network. It's annoying host or it's aggravating, but ever so amazing and appreciated chat. Thank y'all for continuing to rock out with us. You chose to be here, and we thank you for it. $, the Rumonati Network on Cash App. Everybody send $1. Enough dollars can make $1 million. But shit, 10 of them will make a value meal. Everybody send $1. $1 to $, the Rumonati Network on Cash App. Show some love, man. Let's get Rumor some new masks. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to another topic. Still pretty much race-based. Then we're gonna get to the bullshit. We're gonna have some fun after that. All right. What we about to do now is talk about this guy. Go ahead. I know. Go ahead, right? Double O says, I'm no racist, but ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't no more real deal activists out here. Oh yeah, we discussed that. Join the Discord, guys. If you guys want to, we're not bringing anybody up right now. We're going to keep it cool. But if you guys want to join the Discord, though, go to the main page of this channel. Right above the subscribe button, you'll see the link for the Discord right there. You can click that link. Make sure you have Discord already downloaded. And yeah, join the network. We do have after shows, after parties, and all that other type shit. Sometimes we have like chop it up sessions. We have all kind of things going on in Discord after the stream. That's another way to stay connected with all Rumonati content, all things Rumonati. You can join the Discord that way. But thank y'all. Doc Aurelia says, walked in for the first time since I had been there. He popped his head. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That's a story. Let's hear this story first, and then we'll move on to the next. Shout out to the chat, though. I saw you guys. I see you guys out there, man. Thank y'all. Antonio Niller says, nah, war way we have come back to most high. That's the only way, the most high. Oh, no war way. Okay, for sure. Mel says, aggravating as hell. Mike Vanderville says, always Charlie. Charlie Bear says, y'all, I just got here, but I hope we're all getting along and loving each other. For sure. Shout out to you, Charlie Bear. Andrew Coleman, what's good? Who else we got? Is that Abdilly? Abdilly. I hope I'm saying your name right. Shout out to you, Abdilly. Shout out to everybody, man. Salute to everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody is presenting the best version of themselves. You know, not being a loser, not spreading hate. Regardless of the topics that we cover here, you guys will, if anybody has noticed, regardless of what side of the coin my ideology may be on, I try to keep an open mind. I try to give everybody a chance to speak their mind. Just be respectful about your point. Because we can have the tough conversations, just be respectful about your point. I understand some of the content that we play may not be so respectful. We can't control that. But what we can control is what comes from us. So be adults about it. Be civil. Show some maturity and some humility and some form of human decency. It doesn't necessarily have to be respect, but what you can do is save the disrespect, right? Because we don't have to love each other. We don't even have to like each other. But what we have to do is coexist. Because let's just be real. Nobody's going anywhere. No matter how much you point the finger, go back to Africa, go back to Europe, go back to Japan, go back to space, Mars, wherever you come from, go back there. Nobody's going anywhere. We're in this melting pot. We're in this big gumbo game together. Y'all got to be able to rock out, plain and simple. So we have to be able to have the tough conversations, whether we like what's being said or not. We have to be able to have the tough conversations without disrespecting each other. You don't have to respect me, but also I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me, and vice versa, right? You don't have to go above, oh, thank you, you're so nice. Kill the extra nice shit. Kill the fake, oh, we're friends and all that. Kill all that. Put that shit in a toilet bowl. Let's have the conversation, but let's not disrespect each other while we talk. So that way we both walk away and can then meet again and have another conversation later. Who knows what type of networking we may build by doing that? Who knows how many opportunities you miss out on just because you produce hatred. You initially present yourself with the hate, what's inside you already. We trying to find a way to cure that. If you can't cure that, get the fuck on. If you hate the fact that I'm alive, leave. I don't hate the fact that you're alive because we don't share the same skin color. If you hate the fact that I'm alive because we don't share the same skin color, leave. Please leave. Leave. It's just that simple. But Carmelo, man, let's see what TMZ just put up about 7 something this morning. You feel me? Let's see. This was at 7:43 a.m. Attorney slams trial judge. Carmelo Anthony's attorney slams the trial judge. The young man right here is fighting for his freedom. We all know how this situation played out. We're not going to get too deep into this one. We just spent a lot of time with the Nolan Wells situation. Condolences to him and the family. We're watching how that plays out. Mississippi, we got eyes on you from all angles, motherfucker. Yes, from big media to small to even the outsiders. Yeah, even out here in the tent, we watching you, bitch. We watching. I got binoculars. I can see you. Super duper salute to y'all. All right, now, excuse me. Carmelo Anthony, this says, according to TMZ, a new judge has been assigned to oversee the ongoing proceedings in Carmelo Anthony's murder case as the convicted murderer's new lawyer calls foul on his trial judge, who didn't Carmelo's judge retire? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what I was told. Any truth to that? Oh, I see you guys in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. I was trying to see that his judge, he did retire. Okay, he did retire. The new judge, Sid L. Harley, or Harl, is that Harley or Harl? Harle. Harley, was assigned to Carmelo's case Tuesday per court records obtained by WFAA. Harley, will preside over Carmelo's motion to recuse Judge John Roach from handling post-trial proceedings. All right, then. Oh, they're going to hit us with the ad. Oh, probably because it's not
tonight
YouTube.
in Carmelo Anthony's appeal. He's serving 35 years in prison on a murder conviction for stabbing Austin Metcalf last year. One of his new attorneys just told us why they're asking a judge to order a new trial. Kevin Reese walks us through those claims and how prosecutors are responding.
5 lawyers and judges at St. Luke United Methodist Church in East Dallas explaining to an audience how juries are selected, an event motivated in part by the trial of Carmelo Anthony and his murder conviction without a black person on his jury.
A fair juror to the defendant and the plaintiff.
One of these lawyers is Russell Wilson, the new appeals attorney for Carmelo Anthony.
But we understand that there's two sides to every story, but we feel confident in the positions that we're taking.
Their position is that Anthony should get a new trial. They say Judge John Roach, who presided over the case, should be recused based on comments he made after the trial.
We believe that based off of the interview that was done, that he could not be fair and impartial.
And allege that limits on how many people could attend the trial, the speed of that trial, and unrecorded agreements or gentlemen's agreements between attorneys about what testimony would be admissible weren't completely followed, impacting Anthony's decision not to testify in his own defense.
We're arguing that the dispute regarding the agreement did impact the outcome of the trial. Yeah.
The Collin County DA's office sent this statement. The defendant's new lawyers have filed a motion containing several inaccurate characterizations of the trial proceedings. I and the entire prosecution team conducted this trial ethically and in full compliance with the court's rulings and any agreements with defense counsel. The next step, Senior Judge Sid Harrell, who presided over the Uvalde school shooting case, is now assigned to consider if Anthony gets a new judge and possibly a new trial.
My question is, why is that important if the guy retired, right? Oh, I didn't erase the dog face shit. All right. Remember, we talked about this one. Where's the actual interview? We watched this, remember, guys? Where's the entire interview? Oh, I can't find the full interview. Let's just, all right. Let's go here.
Well, I didn't quite know how this case would catch on.
Your name and how you spell it.
My name is John Roach, John. We had minors who were testifying prior to me getting.
Still no reluctance from wanting to take it on?
None.
Yeah.
Having 8 months before the trial to ensure the safety of the people out in the parking lots. They certainly had a right to demonstrate and all, and I think we struck a very, very good balance that allowed them to do that, at the same time maintaining safety of everybody involved.
Did it affect your day-to-day decisions?
It didn't. Actually, I didn't. I came in from a different entrance from the courthouse. I didn't come in through the front. I couldn't hear any noise at all from my office. The jurors were not facing the parking lot, so they didn't see anything or hear anything. And I think we did a marvelous job in isolating them and having them concentrate just on what was going on in this courtroom, which was my instruction from the very, very beginning.
What made this trial different?
I think it started off bad. And it started off bad with the doxing and the swatting of the judge and the parties, the witnesses, and all that stuff. So I think it started off bad, and I'm going to attribute that to social media. And I think social media got it wrong. And it is what it is. I think that's something we have to live with these days. But I think it's my responsibility and other judges' responsibility to make sure, no matter what's going on in social media, that someone can walk in a courthouse and get a fair trial.
Did he get a fair trial? In your opinion, did Carmelo get a fair trial? We are moving on. All right. I thank you guys for rocking out thus far, right? But if you were just here for the racial debates and just to spew hate and all that, your time has passed. We about to get into something a little bit more, I would say lighthearted, but it's still interesting. There is a divide here as well. there's a divide here as well, right? Maybe more political than racial, but there's a divide here as well, right? I told you the Carmelo topic, we were just going to touch and go. That's where we at with that one, guys. Keep running the likes up. Keep running the likes up. 3 more likes to get us to 90. 3 more likes to get us to 90. Send $1 to $, the RUMORNATI Network on Cash App, guys. Help us get new masks for the team. Let's go. I'm going to show some love to the chat before we switch topics. We're about to get into the topics in the title. All right. We're about to get into the topic in the title. The Van Lathan and Jay-Z situation. You guys can continue to comment on the topics that we've covered thus far, right? For the next few minutes. Yeah, I'll read them out. But we get too far gone. You know, it is what it is, guys. You got to keep the pace. Keep the pace. Thank you all. Let me see. Was there much change to the top 10? Not too much change to the top 10. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this time and I'm going to shout out the super supporters right now. All right. Let's shout out the super supporters.
Did y'all hear that? Grit money.
We got Nurse Lady T with a $1.99 super chat. Says welcome in, like, so share and subscribe. We thank you. And we got Larry Gibbs also with a $2 super chat. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Let's go. Larry Gibbs didn't even put a message. He was just showing love, man. Thank you, Larry. Super duper salute to you, man. Devin Karma says, damn, why you cover your face? Because you like Trump? Random, right? Random, right? It was very random. Only one Zan. Is that Zane or Zan? Z-A-Y-N. Is that Zane? Only one Zane. Shout out to you with the king emojis. Holla. Hello, hello, hello. Nicole MC says, why is he on trial? You got to keep up. You got to keep up. You know about the Carmelo trial, right? Mel says, we do not tolerate black, white, purple, green, gray, turquoise racism. Facts. No racism will be tolerated here, okay? Some of the content may be a bit edgy and say things that we can't control, but what we can control is how we conduct ourselves. And around here, we ask that you have some sort of couth, some sort of class, some sort of civility. Triple C's. Oh, it's couth with a K. I got to go back and look. Motherfucker. I'm just bullshit. But anyway, thank y'all. But I do embrace the trolls. You can troll without being offensive racially, sexually, and religiously. Let's kind of keep those things at bay. You know what I'm talking about? Speaking of bay, where the ladies at? Give it up, ladies! Shout out to the ladies, man. Where the fellas at? We in this motherfucker? Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the most aggravating chat in the game, most appreciated chat in the world, man. Hold on. I got a question. Where's everybody watching from? If you don't mind, let me know where you watching from. Go ahead and drop where you watching from in the comments so we can shout out where you at. Let's go. Thank y'all for always rocking out, Ruminati. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic, though. I'm going to show some love to the chat in the meantime, but we are moving on to the next topic, all right? All right. User says, yeah, look at that suit. He's worrying now. Look at it. Carmelo didn't receive a fair trial, Shaquanda says. Don Mathis says he absolutely had a fair trial. His parents just hired bad lawyers. Only one Zane said no, he did not receive a fair trial. Cedric Wright says F no. Mel says, I thank the mods for the hard work they are doing today. Please like the content. We're so glad you all are here. Malachi says, what is this about? Charlie Bear says, if they need a new trial, then that's fine. Mike Federville says, I doubt it. Sharonda, only one Zane says, exactly. Remember, guys, this is not in chronological order. YouTube only lets you go up so far or to give you an infinite time. So I don't know, right? So I read from the bottom up. So keep in mind, I may be addressing something that you said a few minutes ago. You like, I said that already. I'm reading the chat from the bottom up. So we salute to y'all though. Charlie Bear says he needed to be recused after that interview. Excuse me, only one. Zane said he needed to be recused after that interview. Charlie said there were still other minorities on the jury, just saying. And she says back in January, I believe he announced it. Charlie also says he announced it to trial because Mike from the Field says that's like effing up at work before you go on vacation. Nurse lady, Sam, be careful and respectful with your comments. Last warning. Only one says he's retired after that case. Sam, why you mashed up? Choice. Plus my face sit sideways like Conway, and I'm not ready to deal with the criticism of that. So I just rather you say, why you got on a stupid mask? Because my face sitting sideways, boys in a daze. Shout out to y'all, man. Only one. Charlie Bell says, you really in that tent? Wow. Mel says, like, comment. Only one says, yes. Mike from the Field says, dark. Something similar happened to me, tried to get me to snitch on shit. Other people was doing over a nice lunch. I said, ask them. Long story short, we all fired. Long story, the store gone. Damn. Charlie Bear says that was an epic speech. Clip that. I don't even know what the speech was, but clip it. Clip that. Whatever that was. Only one says you just earned a new subby with that one. Oh, let's go. Only one. Super duper salute to you. Thank you, Charlie Bear. Clip that. What was it? XO Mel says, because heaven is going to be a multitude of races. Only place I'm going back to is sleep at night, Mike from the Ville says. Dark says, oh, hold on. Okay, Dark had a story. Let's get into it real quick. And then we're going to go back down. I'm going to read the most current chats, and then we're going to get into the next topic, guys. Dark Aurelius says, I got fired one time after working at a furniture store, assembling furniture in the back. I was good at it. And me and the two managers were running the store. Got along very well. After 2.5 months, the owner walked in for the first time since I had been there, popped his head in the back room, looked at me, didn't say anything to me. 30 minutes later, the managers told me they were letting me go. The owner told them I have to go. Dark Aurelius says, my first big run in with racism, potbelly redneck old man just fired me for being dark skinned. Wow. Mel says, Daniel, his mother received his phone in time for her to check and see if there were any Snapchats there. Mike from the Field says, thank you to all the new subs, and I like to thank you all as well. Charlie Bear says, love this. All right, we all caught up. Real conversation, mutual respect. Record says, the world is getting worse. Maurice says, Bullet Woo, Hartford, Connecticut. Shout out to Hartford. Shout out to Hartford, man. Let's go. Is that Alicia? Alicia McCottrell? Alicia says, stay masked. Anam says he's masked. You have to unlock the special character. Let's hit 100 likes. Let's go. We're 5 likes away, guys. Alicia says, Birmingham, Alabama in the building. New Jersey in the building. Big Jersey. Okay, that's 2 jerseys in the building. Collin County in the building. Curly Lady says, it don't matter if he did vote or like Trump. There's people who love the devil and people who don't have a feeling about that. Alicia says, AZ, baby. Alicia Cerna. Shout out to AZ. Shout out to AZ. 2 people in AZ. Alicia and Elisa and Alicia. Wow. I hope I'm saying all this right. Names are very similar. Mike for the Ville says, a lot of them troll without being funny. That's the worst part. Unfunny MFers. She said, Zane like rain with the Z. Facts. Let's go, Zane. Okay, only one Zane. I had it right. I was doing pretty good. Cedric Wright said, LOL. Yep, Delaware in the building. Big Delaware, man. Listen, I ain't gonna say I stomped my feet through Delaware, but I done been in a few places in Delaware. I'll just say that. Not in the streets and nothing, just people, friends. Shout out to Delaware, though. Big Jersey in the building. Okay, who that? Kim DeMan. Is that Kim DeMan? Jersey in the building. New York in here. Shout out Curly. New York in here. DE, we in here. Shamika Connor. DE, what's up, Delaware? Dover, Delaware. Let's go. Rico says, yeah, keep telling yourself that. Alicia says, it's not getting worse. We're just recognizing it's still the same. Damn. Shit. Big Delaware in the building, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out, hold on, man. I gotta show some love to the DE, man. Shout out to Delaware, man. Y'all gonna make me hit up my friends and see if we still friends. You know them friends that hit you up from time to time. Sometimes men will reach out too, right? But y'all usually do the reaching out and the how you been, all that. And yeah, is this? Oh yeah, we know. In Wilmington, that's exactly where I was at, man. That's it. Listen, shout out to Wilmington, Delaware. Mile High, Colorado, Beaumont, Texas. Wow. Everybody from all over showing love. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep rocking out, man. I hope y'all subbing up or we giving y'all reasons to return. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Zane says you're doing great, King Zane. I appreciate you. Thank you. We see them numbers done went down because we switching that subject up. Y'all know what we talking about? We got to switch the subject up, man. We got to start talking about some other things, man. We know y'all sitting around lurking, waiting to hate. That's cool. That time is past. Now you getting the boot. God damn it. Now you getting the boot. Hold on, what we got here? That's long. Let me stay out. Let me stop looking. Let's go. We're going to get into this topic, y'all. So, let me just say this. Ming says, great work, Moore. And what you talking about? This is my first time running across. What's up, Morris? We about to get into this Jay-Z topic right now. That's what we doing. I appreciate y'all showing love. Detroit. Hey, let's go. Everybody from the 313. Put your motherfucking hands up and vibe with me. That was my shit, man. But I know, don't take that as disrespect. It's just a famous movie. I rock with Detroit way harder. Hold on, bro. They don't want to see my Vezo playlist. You don't want to see, I rock with I'm a little older. I fuck with Vezo. I know all about Skrilla. I know V's. I know all the young, yeah, come on now. Sada, 4-2. I rock with all them, but listen. Vezo, that nigga. Especially that party on the 6. Ooh, that shit so hard. Shout out to y'all, though. Man. Let's go. We're going to move on, guys. We're going to change topic, guys. Van Lathan calls out Jay-Z. He says Jay-Z lied in his freestyle, pretty much. Did he use the word lie? Maybe not. But you gotta be a bit provocative when you're on the internet, right? So, hold on, guys. I'm gonna play a video. I'm getting a call from somebody very important.
I just flat don't listen to what's going on the outside. I do what I think is right, no matter what decision that is. And I sleep well at night knowing if I follow the law, then everything works out like it's supposed to. And so these outside influences, all the noise from the outside, I really isolated myself from that in this case and in all cases, and just do my job, do the best I can, following the law.
How do you think we're talking with the attorneys, other attorneys outside of this. How do you think they describe you?
Strict, no nonsense, fair, and that to me is the most important part. I know for a fact when I make a decision here, people are unhappy. What I hope is when they walk out the door that they think they got a fair trial, or a fair hearing, or fair something. And if they do that, no matter what they think about me personally, then I've succeeded.
And you're okay with any of those characterizations?
I think they're fair.
Yeah. I hate to have to ask about stuff that emerges on social media, but I have to ask it. And I know you don't know of any of it because you're not on social media.
I'm on it. I mean, I'm an elected official, so I have a Facebook page and stuff. Do I look at it? Do I monitor it? Do I let it impact me? None. Not at all.
So I have to ask, do you have a personal relationship with the Metcalfs?
I wouldn't know Mr. Metcalf prior to this trial if he walked up to me and said hello. I don't know the Metcalfs. I sympathize with the Metcalfs and what they've been through and all, but I don't know them personally. Never have.
So these AI images emerging of you and them at a party or drinking together, all
Never
of that.
happened. And that's the problem with social media, isn't it? You can't tell what's true and what's not true. I will tell you, I got some reports of some things that were coming out of this courtroom, and I wondered to myself, were they even in the same courtroom that I was? It's that bad, and I think that's tragic, because I think really if you just listen to the case based upon the facts, you'd understand it so much better.
Do you think it reinforced your decision to not have cameras or streaming inside this?
Sort of. I will tell you this, sometimes I think maybe I should have at least the audio streamed or something so people could hear it. But at the end of the day, I don't think, no matter what, people are going to distort whatever happens or whatever they hear into their own agenda. And so what's the point? And again, that noise affects people. It affects the fairness of the trial, the safety of the witnesses, the safety of the jury. And those are my primary concerns, not what social media says. And it's not my duty. I don't think it's my job to feed social media or the media stuff. I certainly understand the role that media plays in a case like this, but I'm not here to feed it. And I took that very, very seriously.
But Judge, when people don't have access to the trial or the courtroom, doesn't it invite speculation?
Well, sort of, but I got 70 seats in my courtroom, and I had 200 requests by the media to sit in the courtroom. So let's say if I just entertain the press, then I have nobody from the public watching what's going on in their county. And so I had to do a balance between the media's right to know and to be able to report what's going on, because I think that's extraordinarily important. I think it's important that the general public had access to the courtroom and to see what was going on. And so I tried to balance all those things with the primary, again, purpose of having a fair trial. And I think I struck that balance pretty well.
But the media's right to know is the public's right to know, is the public's access. We are the extension of that public.
I think somebody from the public who wanted to come watch a trial and know that they were excluded from the trial because all the media was there, I beg to differ.
Do you think there was a possibility for a learning experience? I mean, people do not know about how trial works. Do you think that this may have been an opportunity for people to know how it truly works, and that kind of erases some of the negative notions of court and trial?
I'm doing this
justice.
interview with you to make sure that people understand how the system works. And if they really wanted to, and I mean this seriously, if they wanted to, they could have stood in line with everybody else and had the 27 to 32 public seats that we had in the courtroom. We rotated every day.
We back.
They could have made it in here.
How did you plan for some of the outside?
Y'all forgive me, we back. It was an audible on the play. I had to get something to play real quick, and I couldn't let it mess up the content, guys. I didn't want to start getting into the topic and have to stop right then. I had an important phone call. Had to make an audible on the play. Thank y'all for sticking around. Thank y'all for being understanding. You know what I'm talking about? Even though this is it's as far as the show, as far as what you see visually, it's a one-man band, one sound, all that type shit. But there is a network of people behind that make this thing happen daily, right? So even though I may stop, the show must go on. And I say that to say, you see how the chat just continue rolling, the mods, the family that ain't even mods, but they just members and family and subscribers, and they just keep this shit going. When I had to fall short, they keep this motherfucking ball rolling. Thank y'all, man. God damn, dog. Thank y'all. Y'all so aggravating. Y'all get on my nerves, bro. Thank y'all.
Aggravating as hell, man.
Aggravating.
Aggravating, bro.
I mean, y'all so aggravating, but y'all so appreciated. And also what's appreciated, let's go with that. Hold on. Did y'all hear that?
Did y'all hear that?
Uh-oh.
Grit money.
That big $9.99 super chat from Mike from the He says, join the Discord, come up and speak on the live or talk with the host and the team afterwards. Download the app because we're channel member 2. Discord link above the sub button on the main page of this channel. And just because he said it, I'm going to show you how to get there. Mike from the we show much gratitude and much appreciation to you, brother. Super duper salute to you. Go right here to the main page of this channel, right above the subscribe button. You'll see the Discord button right there, the Discord link, Click that, follow all the rules, connect, and come on up. Also, in that link section, you will see The link tree where you can get to all the socials and the PayPal if you want to show some love. All right, guys? Now let's go ahead and get back to the content. What we got on the table? Jay-Z, the freestyle. Remember that. That's where we were, right? I see y'all in the chat. 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 Thank y'all. Thank y'all for keeping it rolling. Even the newcomers, new members. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. 2 more likes to get us to 100. 2 more likes to get us up to 100. Come on, y'all. Let's aggravate the algorithm and let's break the ceiling, break the glass. Let's go. We're gonna get into this Jay-Z thing. First of all, Memphis Bleak spoke. He said this is a whole summer takeover. Let's go.
Any more surprises that we should be prepared for?
Definitely, man. We got London coming up. We got LA coming up, SoFi Stadium. Paris coming up, September 4th, September 10th. October, I think, 12th is SoFi.
Jay-Z is basically back out of retirement. This is the most active retired nigga ever. Jay-Z has retired from rapping, from hip hop, how many times? Only to come out with 444. Only to then, now he's touring. You can't tell, is Jay-Z's album coming out? Is there a new Jay-Z album coming out? Is that already confirmed? If not, we know it's one on the way. And before we get any further into the topic, I gotta stop and I gotta show some love, man, because we done did it. We done broke the goddamn glass, the ceiling, and everything else. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. We done broke the glass with 100 likes. 100 likes. How the we get a whole 100 likes? How we get 100 likes? Oh my God. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. 100 likes, man. Let's go, 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 let's go. 100 likes in the building. We done broke the goddamn glass. It's been a while. It's been a while, I must say. When the last time we pulled that one off? When the last time we pulled that one off? Thank y'all, man. Shit. I think it's been a full month before since we had 100 likes. Okay, now. Let's go, y'all. Keep running it up. Fans and stars turn out for Jay-Z's anniversary. Is Jay-Z retired? Is Jay-Z coming out of retirement? Does he have a new album coming out? Let me see. While this Memphis Bleak video plays, I'm going to look that up, y'all. So what you see on the screen might change. Don't fret. It's just a show on the go.
Man, it's gonna be just get ready.
Yeah.
Man. This is a whole summer. It's a takeover.
It's a takeover. In closing, I've said this to you off air, but I'll say it in front of the people who watch the news. At a time like this, music still inspires. It brings us together. Growing up on artists like yourself and Hove and others, and then getting to meet you guys and then being there and seeing everyone together, there's an energy to that. It's what we need. We need more than just debates and division. And we certainly need authenticity because there's a lot of fake stuff going on. So, an honor to have you back. Congrats.
You, bro. Appreciate you, man. An honor to be here, like I said.
Any more surprises that we should be prepared for?
Definitely, man. We got London coming up. We got LA coming up, SoFi Stadium.
Oh, wrong button, guys. Just from
Paris
London.
coming up, September 4th.
He just did Yankee Stadium. He's going to SoFi. They're going to London. I think he said Paris, other places. Jay-Z is dropping the album. I just saw somebody in the chat say it. Jay-Z's dropping the album, bro. It just hasn't been announced yet. Facts. Hold on. Who said that? Who said that? I think it was Kim the Man. Yep, Kim the Man said it. Yep. Jay-Z dropping the album, bro.
I know for sure. I'm not saying it was Jay-Z. I can't say that Jay-Z did anything, right? But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z. For sure. I've told this story before. I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone.
This is all being spoken. Okay, let me give you some context. The phone call kind of threw me off. Okay, what we're talking about here, Jay-Z is firing back at Colin Kaepernick. Jay-Z's freestyle, he fired back at the Kaepernick allegations, the Target boycott. Van Lathan ended up responding, right? In Jay-Z's freestyle, what he did, he addressed some of the biggest criticisms surrounding him, taking the position to cover the NFL halftime shows in the midst of this Colin Kaepernick situation. He says that he claims that there was something in Colin's contract that may not have been true, right? Jay-Z says that, and Van Lathan says that may not have been true. We're going to get into more of that. Also, there was a Target boycott. In Jay-Z's freestyle, which we're going to play here in a minute, you'll hear Jay-Z say, I'm the target. And then he's going to ask you, okay, if we're boycotting Target, but we're not boycotting Amazon, Walmart, just name any other big corporation, right? Then are we really making any impact? Van Lathan then again, goes into how that may or may not make sense depending on who you ask. Van says it doesn't make sense at all, right? I got lost on my words. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna make a poll. I'm gonna put the poll up. I would think that it would be best to answer the poll after you hear everybody out, right? But in the midst of that, stay active in the chat. What I'm playing now is gonna lead into the freestyle. I have to let you hear what Van Lathan alleged to be going on in a Rock Nation phone call. He heard something. He overheard some information about Colin Kaepernick during a phone call where Rock Nation was speaking on him. So let's see how that goes, and we'll get into it, man. Hold on.
And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick, all right. I have to say this. I think the thing here, and I've told this story before, I think the thing here is the Jay-Z part of it. Obviously, that's the biggest deal. But when Nessa's talking right there, there's a part of me that feels bad about letting her be on her own with saying that. And this is the reality. This is what happens, at least in this one instance, because I was there. I know for sure. I'm not saying it was Jay-Z. I can't say that Jay-Z did anything, right? But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z. For sure. I've told this story before. I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a poll up now about, you can answer this one now. Let's see.
Credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from, what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z. I think if we run what essentially was a hit piece on Colin Kaepernick, I don't think we have the cultural cachet to do that. Number one, to insert ourselves into the middle of that situation. And also, I think it's choosing a side in something that is literally at the core of a culture, of a black cultural discussion right now. I don't think we should do it. And he listened.
And you didn't do it.
He did not do it. He listened. He goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He listened. I'm like, I don't think we should do that. Like, he listened, right? He went and got back on the phone. And when he came back, there was a different story. And the story that ended up making it to TMZ was that Jay-Z somehow had the inside track on becoming an NFL owner because of his relationship with the NFL. And that ended up being the story. You guys can probably Google that story. I'm sure it's still on the site, that Jay-Z was going to become an NFL owner. And the reason why that story went up is because it was still a story that kind of explained why he had decided to take the deal with the NFL. It was a story that made it make sense to people. Like, oh my God, maybe Jay-Z, as the owner of a team, can then put Colin on a team. Or maybe moving on from the kneeling situation is worth it because we're going to get a black owner in the NFL.
Or just have some influence and towards
right.
black culture, people within the NFL. I get it.
Right. Because a lot of people were asking the question, like, why he did this, because it didn't seem like it was a deal, and they were pitting Colin Kaepernick against Jay-Z. Full disclosure, I know Colin Kaepernick and Nessa. I do not know Jay-Z or any of the higher-ups at Roc Nation, right? So I can't say what Jay-Z was having somebody do. But the fact that they were people from Roc Nation that were trying to put negative stories about Colin Kaepernick into the ether is true. Now, that is two things. One, so much more common than people would think that it is, right? So much more common in media than people would think that it is. That happens all the time. Essentially, the reason why I would tell celebrities all the time is, like, make friends with somebody at TMZ, have somebody in the office, is for two things. Number one, so you can get a story and a reaction that is favorable to you once you do find yourself in the middle of something. And also, so you can jump out ahead of stories and put your side out there first. Right. And a lot of times I don't want nothing to do with the office. And I would tell people, like, hey, just to let you know, the white people and the big corporations, they got people inside of the office that listen to them. Nobody's cooking stories for anyone. But the reason why at the bottom of an article it says we reached out to this person for comment is because we reached out to this person for comment. Like, this is a story about you. What do you say about this? And if you don't comment, that leaves that. But if you say something, then you get the opportunity to at least have some influence on how that story plays on the page. Right. But they were into it, and sides were working. And so that was a thing that actually happened. I still do not understand why Jay-Z, why Roc Nation entered into the relationship with the NFL that they did. I'm not saying that it hasn't been good for some people. They spread a lot of money around. And even more than the money that they spread around with Roc Nation through, Inspire Change and all of that stuff. Man, I know activists that have been bailed out of jail. I know activists that have had money put in their pocket. Roc Nation has done good work. That one particular move, I still don't know why that happened. And there hasn't been a sufficient answer as to how you went from, we don't need the NFL, we don't need all of this, literally a year before, to becoming a partner with them, and then us getting essentially a Super Bowl halftime show for it, right?
Van Lathan has continuously questioned Jay-Z's moves and motives. And he called him out. I couldn't find the tweets, but when Jay-Z was going through his SA allegation case, Van Lathan had some things to say about him. And in the midst of that, Memphis Bleak also had some things to say about Van Lathan. Van Lathan and Memphis Bleek traded words. According to Vibe magazine, Memphis Bleek and Van Lathan got into it on Twitter over the weekend after Lathan insinuated that Jay-Z was guilty in the recent SA case where he was accused of harming a minor. Bleek rushed to Hov's defense and said, N-words really tried the GOAT. Marcy don't raise those was the hashtag. The Dear Summer rapper tweeted on Friday, December 13th. Someone else then responded to Lathan's comments about Jay-Z tweeting, "You a B-ass N-word for automatically peddling BS, implying Jay-Z is guilty." At Van Lathan. I could not find the tweets that Van Lathan originally put out, right? Memphis Bleek said they really tried the GOAT. Marcy don't raise those. And this is the person responding. The podcast host and former TNZ producer shadily replied to Bleek's reaction, "Oh, I can actually reply to you. The other page has me blocked." Lathan wrote, "I, in no way, shape, or form said he was guilty or innocent. I said they were allegations that would be very hard to prove. Go check the pod. You got, oh my gosh, skeet in your ears from D-Riding." Okay, so I misunderstood that. I thought Lathan did actually say he was guilty. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, I misspoke.
Shit, and I should be looking for ways around that, and we all should be looking for ways around that, and I have to be better than that, right?
But Jay-Z's accuser ended up dropping the charges in the assault case, right?
As rap superstar and business mogul Jay-Z able to declare victory after the case against him was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, according to a filing in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. The civil suit against Jay-Z was on behalf of an adult woman who said she was raped back in 2000, following the MTV Video Music Awards when she was just 13 years old and went to an after party.
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough about what I've been through.
The Jane Doe accuser, a 38-year-old mother from Alabama, spoke with NBC News in December and asked us not to reveal her identity. Her story then had several inconsistencies, among them that her father drove about 5 hours to pick her up after the alleged assault.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened.
But in a later interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story, telling us, "I feel like I would remember that, and I don't." Jay-Z always denied any wrong.
Did he feel like he didn't remember, or did he not remember, or was he paid not to remember? I just got a tinfoil hat on. Let's go.
Doing. The superstar, who has won 25 Grammys and is worth an estimated $2.5 billion, called the lawsuit a money grab, saying in a statement, "The court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence."
Clayshawn Diddy Combs also had been named in that suit.
We ain't talking about Diddy right now, buddy. All right, now we about to get into, matter of fact, let me go to the freestyle. Think I erased it. All right, I must have erased the freestyle. That tab ain't open. Shout out in Red TV.
I'm a target. Hey, don't miss that target. No exclusive on
Instantly, I'm a target. You aim to miss that target. He's talking about Target, the boycott.
Apple and Walmart. You shopping at Amazon or you boycott? You posted on Instagram. That's meta, boy. Stop it.
You shopping at Amazon or you boycotting? You posting at Instagram? That's Meta, boy. Stop it. He's calling you out. This is Jay-Z responding to all the critics, right? Everybody's talking about this freestyle because Jay-Z touched on the Colin Kaepernick situation, the NFL partnership, internet activist, corporate responsibilities, and he's going to say, I think, selective outrage, right? Or something like that. Let's go.
I'm a target. Hey, don't miss that target. No exclusive, ain't what you doing, but after RUMORNATI, you shopping at Amazon or you boycott? You posted on Instagram, that's Meta, boy, stop it. Y'all know Google on YouTube. You picking and choosing a politicking as usual.
Google owns YouTube. You picking and choosing the politicking as usual. That wasn't even hard. I ain't gonna lie. Jay-Z, this is him being who he is, right? That's all it was. This is Jay-Z being who he is. I personally didn't like that bar or whatever, but this freestyle became bigger than music because of all the things he was addressing in it. That's how we got here today.
They didn't deep for narratives, it's embarrassing. They run out of characters, had to bring back up Kaepernick.
What'd he say? They had to bring back up Kaepernick? He said that the characters is embarrassing?
It's embarrassing.
Hold on.
They didn't deep for narratives, it's embarrassing. They run out of characters, had to bring back up Kaepernick. Buddy took a check, I ain't even mad at him. Along with that check, signed a non-disparaging.
Buddy got a check, I ain't even mad at him, but along with that check, Buddy signed a non-disparaging.
And the whole Vengers in their little lie that they've been spreading all week that Colin Kaepernick signed an NDA when he took that settlement check with the NFL. They are saying that they spoke to someone connected to Colin Kaepernick and that he never signed anything saying that he would not disparage the NFL. They're also saying that if he did sign that, he wouldn't be able to make those posts that he often makes about like how many days it's been since he's been on an NFL team.
I don't know. It's embarrassing. Let's go.
The one they can't control. Y'all better be glad it's him. I'm the one they can't control. You better be glad it's him. Have to build you back in the community. That's just good math for him. I'm listening to the activists. They type it, I laugh at them. There's really no comparison. I check my stats again. I'm bringing folks home to their family. Laws get passed as him. You would like it or not. He don't do no ass kissing.
Hold on. Y'all ain't listening. Or am I not listening? Was that Cole or not?
I'm the one they can't control. You better be glad it's him.
I'm the one they can't control. You better come on.
Have to build you back in the community. That's just good math for him. I'm listening to the activists. They type it, I laugh at them. There's really no comparison. I check my stats again. I'm bringing folks home to their family. Laws get passed as him. You would like it or not. He don't do no ass kissing. Ex-drug dealer, you might not like the packaging, but my presence is a president. My gift is rapping. Oh shit! Let's get on some Brooklyn shit.
Man, that shit was trash, bro. Get your ass out of here. That shit was ass, bro.
Right.
Okay.
Me reacting to that, to being, dissed out of no reason, that's a part of it. I'm going to do that. But
he's gonna address the Memphis Bleak part first, and then he's gonna get into the whole Jay-Z breakdown. As a matter of fact, let's go to the Kaepernick diss part first, then we'll get to the breakdown.
Rich, powerful, and famous can tell you that they don't. What that is the establishment of hierarchy inside of it.
No, I don't want to. It's all in. Let's go.
I have to find a better way to respond. Okay. That was it with that. A couple people picked it up. It wasn't a big deal. Memphis Bleak went on
We'll
Club
go back
Shay
to the
Shay,
Memphis Bleak. Hold on.
where
I
Shannon
got you.
Sharp curiously asked him about this.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Curiously, didn't become a big deal.
Yeah, I told you it felt like
There's multiple things. We're going to talk about one of them. Obviously, the Colin Kaepernick NFL thing. We're kneeling. You guys, I hate to tell you guys this, but progression. And when I say this, I mean from 15 on and the Black Power portion of it, I fuck with that.
still.
I mean, now I'm just used to it.
Oh,
Now Title knows me
'cause it
better than I
doesn't-
know myself.
I know, but it doesn't hold the same weight.
It doesn't. And that's what I'm about to talk about. If I look at the playlist,
It almost makes it seem he just built up a big company, got all y'all to tap into it, and then sold it to Jack Dorsey.
me going back. All right. First thing, I'm going to say this, and I've always said this. I know a lot of activists in activist spaces. And if you know a lot of activists in activist spaces, you know people that have relied on Roc Nation and relied on Jay-Z and Beyonce for very direct things. And those people have gotten the help that they've needed. I always say that. Bills paid, bailed out of jail, help, platforming, all of that. Cannot take that away from Roc Nation. Some of the work that they've done. Even some of the money that they funneled into various charities and things of that nature cannot take that away. That is good work. There is good work being done by Roc Nation. That's a fact. Whenever I level any criticism of anyone, there's always going to be a fairness that is attached to that. Always. And you have to say that. When I went back and listened to what I said about Jay-Z after this stuff came out, what I essentially said was this, is that Tony Busby is about to be up against a different cultural beast in Jay-Z because Jay-Z is too big to fail.
Okay, I thought that. Okay, keep going. But that was a thought too. But keep going.
I have never been to the Roc Nation brunch.
Right.
Ever. I have never in any way participated in Roc Nationing. I'm not a Roc Nationer.
You don't go to events.
I don't
You're
go
not
to
invited
events.
to events.
I'm not invited to events.
Yeah.
I've never been to none of that. The showing me love, that's never happened.
Right.
Not that it had to happen or it didn't happen. I'm not a Roc Nationer. There are people that are Roc Nationers. I'm not one of them. My entire relationship with Roc Nation, or having gone to anything Roc Nation, is I did Rail Carter's, this Jay-Z's nephew, a gentleman, by the way, a fantastic man, great guy. Think he was recently married or got married some time ago. Congratulations to Rail. I did Rail Carter's podcast, I think in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never been to the Roc Nation brunch. I've never been to a Roc Nation charity gala. I've never been to a Roc Nation anything. I think what happened here, unless he's a fucking liar, which he doesn't strike me as that. I think what happened here is he got a tweet that said this person, Van Lathan, is taking shots at Jay-Z over this.
The internet activist, the Twitter activist, he was responding directly to Van Lathan in that freestyle.
And then he goes, oh shit, not that nigga. Because we've seen him come to the Roc Nation brunch, come to these different events. They were all together. Van Jones is a Roc Nationer. He was with him for a long time, right? He was doing all kinds of stuff.
He's on their website now. I'm looking at it. So he's listed as one of their personalities.
He's listed as one of their personalities. They fucking rep him and work with him and all of that stuff. And so he probably thought, I know that guy's not taking shots at Jay-Z. That's one of our guys. So that made him mad. So he tweeted that. And then he gets on the show with Shannon. He's asked the question and he goes, we showed you all of this love and Jay gets in trouble and you.
6 more likes to get us to 120, guys. 6 more likes to get us to 120. Run the likes up. Let's go.
You act like Jay's that type of guy. You know Jay's not that type of guy because you know Jay-Z.
$ the RUMORNATI Network on Cash App. PayPal and Super Chat is open as well. PayPal and Super Chat is open as well. Or send $1 to $ the RUMORNATI Network on Cash App. Keep the chat rolling. Run the likes up. I need to see 6 more likes on the board, y'all. Let's go.
It's so hilarious for me to think of Van Jones being in Miami or New York.
He's gonna let's get to him breaking down the fruit.
That is hilarious to me. But if that's
I can't skip parts because when I skip through it, he's addressing multiple parts of the Jay-Z freestyle in one. Let me just let it play, and I'm gonna come back, bring it all together.
Relation to me, he tripping because I never been to none of that shit. It's not that I wouldn't have gone to it, but I wasn't the type of person to get invited to that. I'm not a Rock Nationer. I've never really think that he. No. When is this albatross of Van Jones gonna get from around my neck, lady?
In person to your face.
In person to my face.
On CNN, I think you guys should do something together.
I fuck with him.
Guys, I see it. It's going to be called corrected. So let me say this. One quick search. I immediately thought, first off, let me go back. When you were going to go on a thing, but I just want to say, expect Shannon Sharpe to do a little bit more research.
You wouldn't have expected, from Shannon, first of all, let's say two things. Bleak knows that he's talking to me, and he just has a bunch of fucking faulty information. But I tell you one thing, there's no way that he thinks he ever saw me at the Rock Nation brunch, and there's no way that he thinks that he saw me at other Rock Nation events, because that just never happened. I've never met him before in my life. So I'll say this. Go ahead, my bad. No. This is something bigger, and I'll come back to what the threat actually was, or I'm not even going to overreact. I'm not even going to come back to that. I'm going to come back. I want to talk about criticism of Jay-Z and Rock Nation. And it's something that we on this podcast for a long time have eaten around the edges of. Now, if you've listened to Higher Learning before, you're going to hear about the way I view this that might be new to you. But for a lot of you guys, this is me going back. All right, first thing, I'm gonna say this, and I've always said this. I know a lot of activists in activist spaces, but that can because Jay-Z is too big to fail. He will have cultural insulation. He will have insulation from the billionaire class. He'll have insulation from a lot of hip hop media that will not criticize him no matter what. And because of that, I said during my time talking about this, it'll be very difficult to prove this case.
He was talking about the SA case.
Very difficult when you look at everything surrounding it. The case didn't look like anything. But more.
I appreciate y'all running the likes up. Keep running the likes up. Keep going, y'all. 2 more, get us to 125. Thank y'all. He's talking about Jay-Z's SA case.
To the point, Tony Busby is going to understand that there are certain people that culturally, people don't want any criticism, investigation, or questioning in a way. And Jay-Z is one of those people, right? Rock Nation and the whole thing is one of those people. And Tony Busby is about to find that out. Now, if people expected me to look at that case and be like, that never happened, he's incapable of that, I don't know what the fuck you want. I don't know him. And if there's one thing that I have learned in Los Angeles is if you're going to vouch for someone's character, if you're going to say what someone is or is not capable of, they had better be like fucking family to you. I cannot tell you how many times in this particular, not super duper well, in him we're talking about me coming over to work for Revolt, all of that stuff. Look, from 20, he was incapable of that. It's just that I was frozen and somebody that I've never met, never kicked it with, don't know anything about him. All I know is the music that I was going to say, this person couldn't have done that, to be weaponized against someone that might actually have a claim against them.
Right.
It couldn't be that R. Kelly did this. R. Kelly made the Ignition remix. How could Bill Cosby have done this? He gave us the Cosby Show. That type of insulation is used to hurt people.
Right.
I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to damn someone before evidence comes out, and I'm going to listen to evidence, meaning if your entire case and trial is adjudicated and you are found innocent of that, you're good with me. Once a trial has happened,
why?
I use Tidal on my phone right now. I've told you guys this before. I use criticism of Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Back to the point of the criticism of Jay-Z and Rock Nation.
Here we go.
This is a weirdly important issue to me.
Why?
I use Tidal on my phone right now. I've told you guys this before. I use Tidal. I did not use Tidal because of any marketing that came out. Madonna getting up there. Remember how she signed her Tidal shit and all of that? Everybody, all the music people coming together. That's not what made me use Tidal. What made me use Tidal was a man that I've been listening to since I was 16 years old, stood on the stage and said, you got Apple, you got Spotify, you got all of these different apps, and not one of them is for us. And I'm telling you right now, remember when Jay-Z did this? I'm telling you right now that we got to bust our way into this situation. We got to have something where the artist can be empowered, have something where the culture can be empowered, have our own streaming site where we could put up music the way we want it, shows the way we want it, all of that stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm with that. I fuck with that.
Still?
I mean, now I'm just used to it.
Oh.
Now Tidal knows me better than I know myself.
I know, but it doesn't hold the same weight.
It doesn't. And that's what I'm about to talk about. If I look at the playlist.
It almost makes it seem he just built up a big company, got all y'all to tap into it, and then sold it to Jack Dorsey.
Well, this is the thing. If I look at Tidal right now, Tidal's putting together mixes. The mixes that Tidal's putting together, Throw Some D's, How You Do That, Stay Fly, all there. Ain't No Future in Your front MC Breed. Tidal knows me. So I'm just used to Tidal now. I don't even know how to use Apple Music. And to your point, what happened was after that, after I downloaded and went to this place and did this thing for a cultural reason, he then sold it for a business reason. Now,
he sold it to you for a cultural reason too, by the way.
Whatever. Well, so what I'm telling you is,
you for a business reason. He sold it to you as a business reason with a veil of it being cultural. He didn't sell you it for a cultural reason. He sold it to you with a cultural catch in order to get the sale for the business reason.
I don't know enough about business. I'm being for real. I don't know enough about business to know everything that went wrong or right with Tidal. I don't. But I at least have to be able to ask the question.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I at least have to be able to ask the question. Jay-Z, at a certain point in his career, took on a very direct socio-political stance. Right? Socio-political stance. And it was natural. It was a natural evolution. The evolution was natural because if you listen to his music, there were always parts of his music that talked about the condition of people where he's from and the condition of black people writ large.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't
there was also an air of arrogance in his music and not saying, first of all, it's not a crime to think that you're better than that. You know, I'm greater than that which I come from or that which I see around me. But Jay-Z always in his music, you can even hear it. There's an arrogance of I'm better than quote unquote you people.
The largest part of it. But it was always about how he had to do the things that he did.
For lack of better term.
How he would have been if he had a different lot in life. All of that stuff was always in there. Like it just sometimes it'll just be in the bar. Like on 99 Problems, when he's talking about how he knows is right and how he fucks over the cop, that's a revolutionary verse. That's a verse about fuck you. And he's wrong in the verse. He got dope in his car, but that's a revolutionary verse. That's a verse that says, I'm a citizen of this country. I know my fucking rights. I'm not opening my shit in the glove box or the back unless you got a warrant. Fuck you. That's fuck you, policeman. That's a revolutionary verse. Revolutionary verse. Give him credit for that. Mm-hmm. So when he became who he became, I thought that was actually a natural progression. And when I say this, I mean from 15 on and I should be able to be like, without a group of people going, you have a vendetta against this person or against what the fuck, or Rock Nation or whatever. There's multiple things. We're going to talk about one of them. Obviously, the Colin Kaepernick NFL thing. We're kneeling. You guys, I hate to tell you guys this, but the kneeling was meaningful. Okay, I get it. You don't like Kaepernick. You don't like Nessa. I get it. Let's put that to the side. What the kneeling was, as much as it could have been, was what American descent is based on. It is based on the individual person, the worker, which is what Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL. The worker, individual, was what? Get it. Let's put that to the side.
Hold on. I got to do this again.
Y'all know Google on YouTube. Target. I'm a target. Hey, don't miss that target. No excuses, they only doing what Apple and Walmart did. Along with that check, signing on disparity, running up characters had to bring back up Kaepernick. Narratives is embarrassing. They running up characters had to bring back up Kaepernick. Indeed, the narratives is embarrassing. They running up characters had to bring back up Kaepernick. Buddy took a check, I ain't even mad at that. Along with that check, signing on disparity.
What the kneeling was, as much as it could have been, you don't like it. The kneeling was meaningful. Okay, I get it. You don't like Kaepernick. You don't like Nessa. I get it. Let's put that to the side. What the kneeling was, as much as it could have been, was what American descent is based on. It is based on the individual person, the worker, which is what Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL. The worker saying, I materially don't like my conditions at this workplace or the conditions in society. Watch what I'll do about it. And then it spreads. And then a conversation starts. And then the president's involved. And then the NFL is on the run. And now we have the owners talking about things. One owner calls the people inmates, all of that stuff. And then Jay-Z says, we're past it. Okay, can we talk about why we're past it? Can we have a discussion about why we're past it? Or are we just past it because you said so? Can we just say, all right, well, cool. Well, I think that the NFL being in a position where they're culturally getting a chunk taken out of their ass is actually a good thing. And it's a recreatable thing all over the place. And we should maybe keep that. But no, it's over. They have him. He's with them. Rock Nation is with them. So it's done. And if you come back in any way, shape, or form and say, should we talk more about this? Then in some kind of way, you're a heretic.
Yeah. Anytime you don't go with what the masses thinks is cool, trendy, or right, anytime you don't just go with the flow, you speak out, you speak truth to power, you're a hater, you're crazy.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not about Colin Kaepernick getting back into the league. It's not about any of that. And I'm sure the charities that have been funded by Inspire Change are grateful for the money that they've gotten. But the issues that were rife in the NFL remain. We've seen lawsuits about them. Sure. And what's happened is what that thing really did was allow us to move on from it.
4 more likes. Get us to 130, guys. Picture. 4 more likes.
All of this has to do with what it is that we're talking about and how people react and respond to this and why people will be mad that you don't fall in line with someone who they adore. Picture comes out a couple of days ago from the Reform Gala. Michael Rubin, Meek Mill, Jay-Z hosted the Reform Alliance Casino Night and Gala, raising money for criminal justice reform. Page 6 gets a picture. There's a table.
Mm-hmm. That's when Jay-Z said, bills get changed because of me.
The table is Jay-Z at one table, Beyonce, other guests, and Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
Once again, there is a chance that I don't know how things work. It's obvious that there's a chance that I don't know how things work. I don't know how things work. I don't know how things work at the top of the billionaire movement people. I don't know how it works.
Okay.
Haven't been in those rooms, haven't had those conversations. But can't I at least ask? Can I at least say, why are we having dinner with the Trumps?
Can you also, just because you're not in those rooms, say, I don't think it's okay?
You could, but you definitely could. But there's a chance that the answer that comes back is, listen, what you don't know is this is the way that this works, man. All of these people in Washington, because say something else about this. I've been in the green rooms at the chat shows. Mm-hmm. The green rooms are different than what it is when it's on live TV.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
Talked about it. I've been on the green rooms and see the guy that y'all all hate and the dude that's against the guy that all y'all hate showing pictures of their kids to one another.
As far as the kids, if they're
I'm talking about two people going drinks. By the way, I'm not criticizing it. When I go someplace and I get new information, mm-hmm. when I get new information about something, I go, oh. So when I'm watching two of these senators on TV and I see Mark Kelly go, a lot of my friends on the right. I see Chris, whoever, the senator goes, hey, this is my very good friend, but I disagree.
That you do not agree with, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum from you on certain issues, and they're your friend. Yes, it's a yes. I mean, Jay-Z on a completely different away from
has a lot to do with criminal justice stuff. And Jared Kushner...
It is criminal justice, yes.
Jared Kushner was somebody that got the First Step Act passed.
Yes, but federally. I mean... In laws, it goes deeper into it. That's the point. It's not on a federal level. It goes deeper into the problem on local, state issues. I bring that up. It's not about, you called it, you said you didn't want to be pedantic about it. That's not what it is. It's important to recognize the difference because it shows the motivations, which you alluded to, or you said a little bit, of Jared Kushner. Yes, Jared Kushner was absolutely influential in
this of saying, I do more, therefore your trust in me must be implicit. Nothing. Those conversations matter. And nobody, no matter how rich, powerful, and famous, can tell you that they don't. What that is the establishment of hierarchy inside of this, of saying, I do more, therefore your trust in me must be implicit. Nothing I do can actually be questioned, pulled apart, analyzed, critiqued, because I do so much that unless you do more, you can't say anything. That's not community. That's not the way a community works. As far as stuff on a boycott, I want you guys to go out right now and try to boycott everything white. Go for it. Try to boycott everything that a white man has a hand in. Go for it. Come back and tell me how well that goes. I'm sure there are some people that are doing really good at it. But I'll tell you this, the purpose of a boycott is to be strategic, to be direct, and to pick target, questioned, pulled apart, analyzed, critiqued. Because I do so much that unless you do more, you can't say anything.
I'm the target. Hey, don't miss that target. No excuses, they only doing what Apple and Walmart did. You shopping at Amazon or you boycotting? You posting on Instagram? That's Meta, boy. Stop it. Y'all know Google on YouTube. You picking and choosing and politicking as usual.
That's not community. That's not the way a community works. As far as stuff on a boycott, I want you guys to go out right now and try to boycott everything white. Go for it. Try to boycott everything that a white man has a hand in. Go for it. Come back and tell me how well that goes. I'm sure there are some people that are doing really good at it. But I'll tell you this, the purpose of a boycott is to be strategic, to be direct, and to pick targets that you can affect. And in this case, the target boycott is what we were talking about. You're not less into a boycott of Target because you use Meta or because you use Amazon. In that case, what is essentially being said on that stage is there's no possible way to hold a corporation accountable unless you do all of them at the same time.
Jay-Z is saying your boycott is pointless in layman's terms. In the simplest, easiest breakdown, Jay-Z is saying your boycotting Target is pointless. You're doing absolutely nothing by both boycotting Target because you still support Meta, Google, which is all the YouTube, Walmart, Sony. Jay-Z is saying you're wasting your time. Don't, in a nutshell, that's kind of brainwashing you for the next time a situation comes up. You saying, what do I, the same way they got black people to stop voting? When black people sit in these rooms or they go on social media and they say stuff like, it's rigged, it don't count anyway. What I need to vote for, they gonna pick who they gonna pick anyway. You're getting the idea in your mind that it's a waste of your time to do it anyway. And you're spreading that, you're spewing that same type of ignorance and getting other people to start feeling and having those same type of thoughts. Jay-Z does that on a mass scale. That's Van Lathan's problem with Jay-Z in this freestyle.
You guys, that is what American power wants. What American power wants is to consolidate itself so much that it doesn't matter what you do, you're a part of it. They want you reading the Washington Post, and when you read the Washington Post, you're doing Amazon. They want you watching He-Man, and when you watch He-Man, you're doing Amazon. They want you using YouTube, but that's Google. All of that consolidation is part of a capitalist plan of capturing human beings. So when you get to somebody that says, unless you can do it purely, you can't do it right, that is someone that is either not paying attention to the way that goes, or they're a part of it, right? Or they are an avatar for American capitalist power, and they're saying, I do all of this. And so you have to kind of listen to me.
Anybody who's saying anybody who looks like you and is saying your vote doesn't matter, your protesting doesn't count, your boycott is pointless, in my opinion, is part of the problem. What you heard me say was there's a way to do it, right? Whether I'm not informed enough to know there's various situations. I can say overall it may look pointless, but who's to know what laws changed or what happened in the past in every situation to say whether it's pointless or not. I'm not informed enough to say that. But what I will say is I'm critical on the way that it's done. I'm critical on conducting yourself with such attitude and such disorganization when everybody's just in the middle of the road blocking streets. You can't fight hate. A protest is not a protest and a boycott shouldn't lead to violence, right? The people protesting and boycotting have to understand that they're going to their buttons are going to be pushed. So when you come out there full of emotion and you standing out there screaming with so much hate in your heart and you're so emotional and you're ready to act out, you're not the person that needs to be at this protest or this boycott. You're the person that needs to be ready when everything kicks off. And if you're that emotional and irrational and can't control yourself, you might need to go out there first and be what the Army would refer to as a bullet catcher. I'm just saying, because if you're not going to be able to control yourself, compose yourself, and think with a clear mind in the midst of you having those emotional feelings, then you're going to do something bad, something wrong, like get in the wrong person's face or do something to make this boycott go from peaceful and loud or whatever and voices being heard and organized to disorganized. You're going to start throwing things at the police. You're going to start, doing things to incite. There may be a time and place for that, but it's not at this time and place. So anybody who's telling you that what you're doing is absolutely pointless, I think that they're part of the problem. I think it can be done. Do I feel like it's the only thing that needs to be done? No, I think boycotting, picketing, protesting needs to be done in conjunction with. You fill in the blank, right? But I think it needs to be done in conjunction with.
So that in and of itself. The last thing, the Kaepernick thing, I want people to know something. That is not true. There was reporting that was done by TMZ. Colin Kaepernick simply never signed anything that stopped him from disparaging the NFL. Never. As a matter of fact, there is evidence that after Colin Kaepernick settled his employment case with the NFL, that he continued to call out the league and be critical of them.
We've talked about it.
We've talked about them. Remember, Colin Kaepernick did a a television show where he compared the NFL Combine to a plantation, right? So Jay-Z and that.
My bad. Hold on. I respect that.
It's probably
somebody in the chat. David James says that's why I don't go to protest, because I'm tripping. Come on, bro. If you can't compose yourself, stay home. We don't need more people going to jail and give us more reasons to protest. We need to get our point. We need to get our point heard, get the word out, make our presence felt without any more of us dying or going to jail or whatever we're protesting for. 2 more likes to get us to 130. See-Through says Jay-Z never not once told people not to boycott and that it's pointless.
Probably misinformed. It's the chances to me are very low that he got up there and said something that he knew wasn't true about Colin Kaepernick. That's not even the point. The point is, why would you say that in the first place?
And shout out to you, See-Through. I think you're missing a same point that I feel like the point that what me and Van Lathan both just said. Van had a different point than mine. I broke it down a different way. I feel like that is, well, my opinion, let me say that. I personally feel like that is what Jay-Z was saying. How can you relay that message as anything else? If he's telling you, oh, if you're doing this, then you're doing that. If you're doing this, then you're supporting that. So at the end of the day, he's saying, why do it anyway, right? He also said we're over kneeling. So that is basically saying stop protesting, right? I personally don't see how you can determine that to be anything other than that. But this is just my opinion. I'm one guy on the internet with a mask on. So take it for a grain of salt or don't take it at all.
Yeah.
If your purpose right now is to make Colin Kaepernick look like a sellout to the NFL.
R. Hughes says protests ain't done nothing in 50 years. I would say go look up every single protest and then come back with some metrics before you say it's done absolutely nothing. I can't second that emotion. Though I get where you're speaking from. I do understand where you're speaking from and what you mean when you say that. But I can't second that emotion without being properly informed because there's older people that's still around. Of course, you have the people protest today and it's not the same today. It doesn't have the same impact. The same type of people, they don't have the same heart and willing to make the same sacrifice that the people who were protesting back then for racial injustice were, right? But what I'm saying, these guys are more radical now than there was back in the day, I would assume, right? So I think the heart is different. I think they come out with more attitude. But I can't say it has done nothing because the people that are still alive that tell stories about standing in those lines and seeing America become what it is today, even though there's still racial tension, there's still bigotry, hatred, all that. I can't say that the protesting didn't change anything when they speak on the changes they've seen in America to this day. So I can't say that, brother. I'm sorry. Not sorry, but I just choose, I don't agree.
Right. So Jay-Z in that regard is probably misinformed. The chances to me are very low that he got up there and said something that he knew wasn't true about Colin Kaepernick. That's not even the point. The point is, why would you say that in the first place?
Yeah.
If your purpose right now is to make Colin Kaepernick look like a sellout to the NFL or someone who in some way had a nefarious motive for doing anything of any stuff that he did, the question is, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? Because part of the framework of American power is consolidating it. When we're talking about what we're going up against or like what we're critiquing or calling out, because really, to be honest with you, we're not going up against anything. These are two brothers that are within our community and culture. And what we're doing is having a conversation, a cultural conversation about how we feel like things should go. It doesn't have to be about choosing one or the other. Mm-hmm. It should be about you making the decision of the life that you want to have and how you want to lead it. And I say that because in this situation of saying there was a deal taken that made him shut up, it's kind of saying you are Uncle Tom.
That's what he's saying.
Like, to me, it's saying that you never really meant what you said. You got paid, and now people are throwing you up in my face, accusing me of doing the thing that you had already done. It's just very important to say.
That's exactly what it's saying.
It's very important to say that that's not true. So you guys can decide what you believe about Colin Kaepernick and his fight against the NFL, Colin Kaepernick and his fight against police brutality, and the kids getting blown off, get their heads blown off. I will always say this. I do not fucking think that any person in this country ever should have to lose their job because they have the gall and the temerity to, at their job, say that black kids should be killed by the police. And if you guys don't agree with me, fuck you. I don't care anymore. I will fight forever to say that you You should not have to get lied on, should not have to get drugged through the mud, should not have to get fucked over because you said you used your platform to protest against police brutality. And we can go through it and pull the guts of it apart, pull the entrails of it apart. It is just that. It is just that. That doesn't make Jay-Z and Rock Nation villains in the story. Maybe it does. Decide for yourself. But what I am going to say is we can have a million conversations about a million things. I'm not in any way saying that there is purity in this, that there is one right way to be, one wrong way to be. What I'm saying is I will always say that the moment that a black man looked at his world and decided that he didn't like the way that it was going to go or the way that it was going, and then use his platform, put his career on the line, I'm with that forever. That's it. And so while this is unfortunately devolved into what it always devolves into, a hierarchy Mandingo fight between two different versions and visions of Black American freedom, we can't seem to not get here. We can't seem to not have this. I would just say this, man. It's just important that everybody is fair and accurate about what they're saying about one another.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody a sellout because they went to no concert or they enjoyed the Blueprint 30th anniversary. Rock Nation is not an evil empire looking to take over the world and subject everybody to this. None of that's true. What we are doing is having conversations in this time of incredible wealth inequality, of incredible corporate power, of incredible political consolidation of power about what it is that we do.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think about that? I feel like Van Lathan had a great point, man. I feel like Van Lathan had some great points. Bringing up Kaepernick, I guess things had been thrown Jay-Z's way for so long, but Kaepernick had been out the league for so long already. You know? Like, he already lost his career. Why are you trying to now tear down his image by saying something that's false? You're spewing false information saying that this man had a non-disparaging, bruh. He didn't sign an NDA. Jay-Z did not sign an NDA. I'm siding with Van Lathan on this one. And I agree with him. You're not a sellout because you went to the Blueprint or anything like that. I'm not saying all that, but why did you, first of all, you reopen the old wound, you bring it up Colin Kaepernick, and then you were wrong. Jay-Z was wrong. He was wrong. When the entirety of the time, your character was in question because the world believed that you used Kaepernick and his entire campaign for your gain. I mean, what do they say? A hit dog hollers, right? Jay-Z is responding to 2, 3, 4, how many years ago? He's responding to years long ago criticisms. As a spectator, onlooker, just a guy on the internet with a mask on, I can't help but think that there's some sort of guilty conscience there. Right? Because if you're truly at peace with your decision, why do you feel the need to explain yourself? And then years later, why are you still bringing up this Kaepernick shit? Nigga, you've been running the Super Bowl. You've been making halftime shows for the Super Bowl after that whole Kaepernick kneecap debacle. We're going to call it kneecap. After that whole kneecap debacle, you inched your way in there and got in bed with them people, acting like you was going to go in there and talk to them. Yeah, man, we going to talk. We got to have a talk. Yeah, we got to have a talk. This ain't right. This ain't right. Next thing you know, yeah, ain't no need to kneel, man. Ain't no need to kneel. Stop the kneeling. Halftime. It's the Rock. Let's go. The Target boycott. Every time we against something, every time it's something that we say we not doing, Jay-Z always has to be the contrarian, has to do the opposite of what, let me just put quotations, Black America, because, you know, now there's the debate. I'm not black. I'm not African. Black, I'm American. African-American, brown-skinned people from America, melanated Americans, the melanated Americans. Let's coin that. Is it already coined? It's coined now. Anyway, Jay-Z always has to go against melanated America. Always. Let's kneel. We over kneeling. Let's get over that. Halftime. Let's boycott Target. Yeah, I'm doing an exclusive release with Target. I'm a partner with Target and doing exclusive release. Why, nigga? Why choose Target during the boycott? In the middle of the boycott, you want to go and do an exclusive release. What the fuck? What was it? Hold on. Let me see what. Jay-Z partnered with Target to release a 30th anniversary exclusive double vinyl edition of his 1996 debut album, Reasonable Doubt. The $40 collector's item features premium packaging, a creamy white color variant, collectible inserts, and exclusive artwork. The deal sparked significant controversy because it launched during an ongoing nationwide consumer boycott of Target, which began after the retailer rolled back its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The exclusive vinyl drop can be explored on the Target website, though the backlash generated substantial media and cultural debates. For a breakdown of why the corporate partnership caused friction within the hip-hop community and ongoing Target boycott, Joe Budden and them talked about it. Let's just see what Joe had to say.
Like, honestly, do you think the suite is going to be like, come on, man. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
It's all good.
It's going to be like, come on, man.
June 26th. It's all good. Anyway, it's the 30th anniversary. June 26th.
Nigga said, what was it that happened? Like one subject, like it was one thing. Nigga, Target got them Goodfellas t-shirt packs too, but shit, we don't need to have Goodfellas. We can shop elsewhere, right?
The double
which is no better time than to, as a businessman, right? If you're one of the most influential people in the hip hoposphere, right? We already talked about the influence of Jay-Z, how he has changed niggas' entire wardrobes and shit for summer. We even talked about what he did with, even up to as recent as Tidal and the 444 album, where everybody supposedly woke up and grew up and all that, right? Jay-Z has always been a quote-unquote tastemaker for the hip-hoposphere. The quote again, loosely used term, the culture, right?
This is not to
see. I'm the most influential over the past 20. I have consistently been a supreme influence in hip hop for the last at least 20 years. So when everything that's quote unquote black, hip hop so that means I have a super strong following. So that means basically what I say goes. I call the shots for a large segment of a certain demographic of people, right? So what better opportunity to present myself and make more money than when it looks like all of Black America or melanated America has turned their back on the big corporation? Right? But who can come save the day? America's favorite Negro. That's how he presents himself. Hey, hey guys, I could do that. I could look here. Get with me. I'll get them to forget all that. We'll get business as usual. You know what I'm saying? Huh? What better time to approach the white companies or the Jewish or whatever Indian, whatever whoever, whatever. It could be black. What better time to approach these billion-dollar corporations that just took a financial hit? Whether they'll last or not doesn't matter, right? They're going to last. But they're looking at oh my gosh, we just took a major hit. It will take us how many quarters or how many annuals to bounce back from this target market that we had that isn't shopping with us anymore. Yeah, hey, I can make them forget all that. I can get the money coming back if you just give me this. You just do this, put me in position. No, we'll give you 300 million. No, I don't want 300 million. I want some stake in the company. I want more equity. I'll bring you the niggas. You give me positions. Pause if necessary. What better time to present yourself than when all of Black America turns their back? Of course, Jay-Z gonna step in and say, I can speak for them. I can change this. No morality. Just money on. Jay-Z don't give a damn about how we feel day to day, nigga. Let me show some love to the top 10, y'all. Let me show some love to the top 10. How y'all feel about that? Let me know how y'all feel about that down in the comments. I see y'all. Let me show some love right now. Number 1. Number 1, we got Mike from the Ville. Number 2, we got Nurse Lady T. Number 3, we got XO Mills. Number 4, we got Anonymous 1. Number 5, we got Larry Gibbs. Number 6, we have ZVY. Number 7, we got Only One Zane. Number 8, we got Shamika Connor. Number 9, we got Dark Aurelius. And number 10, Antonio Naylor. And then number 11, honorable mention, is that Kim the Man? We got Cam the Man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Super duper salute. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Now I got to make sure I show some love once again. All right. This says fan funding, but I just look at it as another form of support. I call this the super supporters. We got Mellow Man Ace, sent a star for 2 jewels. Fat Boy 321 cent clutch for 30 jewels. Mike from the Ville with the $9.99 super chat. Join the Discord, come up and speak on live or talk with the host and the team afterwards and download the app. Become a channel member too. Discord link above the sub button on the main channel. Super duper salute to that. And always a $9.99 super chat. And also it was a $1.99 super chat super step from Nurse Lady T. Welcome in, like, share, subscribe. We thank y'all. And then Larry Gibbs with the $2 super chat super step. Showing love. Thank y'all for the super duper support, man.
Did y'all hear that? Grit money.
Appreciate that. Put the money in the bag. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Now let me make sure I show some love to the chat, man, before we get up out of here. We got R. Hughes in the chat. We got Anonymous in the chat. Mike from the Ville. Penny C. Hold on. R. Hughes says, okay. Anonymous says, Slim MIA today. Mike from the Ville says, the underlying issue is thinking Jay-Z is a pulse on how we all feel and move as a whole. I agree with that. I agree with that. The problem is people that look to entertainers as leaders, and we're looking for them to do something other than entertain us. I think that's also, I'm not going to say that's the only, because I agree with what you said, but I think that's also part of the problem. The people that do feel and move when a person like Jay-Z says something, or any other artist that they would consider somebody that holds weight to them in the culture, for that matter. You know what I mean? Penny says, so true. Now he rants. Stop rapping. Still not shopping at Target. Mel says, and then his wife is the queen of the black culture. I'm bringing her along for the deal. I'm sure I can persuade her to do something with Target. See what I'm saying? There are what we can't do is, of course, we separate ourselves, and we could be in a room and not of the room, but we can't forget the amount of people that are impressionable, easily and very, very impressionable. So when somebody says, oh, this is cool or this is okay, they fall right in line with it because a certain person said it. We can't forget that. We have to factor that in. JMC Gear says something these same folk did in the 60s, promoted black entertainers. We don't follow the entertainers. That is my point. Why are we looking to them? Not we, but yeah, I'm going to just say it. Why are we looking to them to be a certain something or have a certain something? Yeah, I understand this social pressure that we all put on. When you're an entertainer, you have a certain responsibility whether you choose it or not. Man, Jay-Z came in the door not giving a F about that. He been showing us from the beginning that he don't give two shits about none of that. He's here for the bag. Late Bloomer says we have bigger fish to fry. Food is filled with poison. Water resources are being controlled by these elites. Source your own food and water. I just have a question for everybody that has that same sentiment, because I share that sentiment. I don't say it's bigger fish to fry because shit, you don't even know how to catch the fish to clean it in order to cook it. How do you catch a big fish like poison food and water? Listen to what you're saying. What are you? I want to know, what are you doing in your day to day to combat that? I'm not asking what you're doing for the totality of the people, because you're speaking for the totality and telling everybody what they need to be worried about. I'm asking you as an individual that speaks for the totality and saying we should all be worried about this. It's more important, right? Which I'm not saying it's not, but I'm asking you as an individual, what are you doing to combat the things that you bring to our attention that we need to be worried about? So when you bring these worries to people's attention, do you have any resolve for the worry, or is this just something else for them to be concerned about? Because then that makes you a fear monger. So I ask you, Late Bloomer, what do you do in your day-to-day activity to help combat those complaints you just had, those bigger fish to fry, that we can then incorporate in our day-to-day activities to possibly combat those things as well? That's my question. Because everybody want to say, oh, we shouldn't be worried about that. I'm not saying you, but we get this a lot. Oh, y'all worried about the wrong thing. What about this? What about that? What about this? Says a little bit, says a little hoe, throw baby. What are you going to do about that? What are you doing in your day to day? The thing that you're, quote unquote, putting us, bringing to our attention, to pay attention to. What are you doing in your day to day to resolve and combat those issues that could help us? That's all I'm asking, bro. Oh, hold on. I try to wake people up to get them to see the bigger picture, but you don't have an answer. He says, I try to wake them up to get them to see the bigger picture. Okay, when you bring this to their attention, now they have yet another worry. Do you understand what I'm saying? You didn't bring nothing. You didn't wake up nothing but another worry if you don't have a resolve. If you don't have an answer, if you don't have a fix for the problem that you brought attention to that people weren't looking at first, you just brought another worry to a bunch of people. So what do you do in your day to day? The thing that you are bringing to everybody's attention that you're trying to wake people up on, how do you personally combat that? How do you fight that? And you sharing that information along with the issue may help somebody, because you're not helping by simply bringing it to somebody's attention. Where is the resolve for that, sir? That's all I'm asking. He says, I have these tough conversations, but you have yet to respond, so I'm going to move on. You haven't gave the answer on how to resolve it, right? Solution. Where's the solution, sir? Even if it's not a fail-safe or a complete fix, what small nuances did you incorporate in your life to help combat? That's why I said to help combat, because you can't get away from it totally. And if you can, please inform us, sir, because you brought the issue to us. So can you bring a solution to that issue which you brought to us, sir? Or are you just another complaining nigga? That's all I'm trying to say. Are you a nigga with, are you the bearer of bad news, nigga? Are you the nigga that comes to the table with a bunch of bad news? Man, y'all know this bad. Y'all know this bad for you. You gonna die if you do that. These people hate you. These motherfuckers don't like you. This is bad for you. Nigga, what answers do you have for all this bullshit? Do you have any answers? Or are you just a bearer of bad news, nigga? That's what I'm getting at. It's enough niggas running around pointing the finger at what's wrong. Everybody could say what's wrong, what's right, or what are you doing right that has shown and proven in your life that we can then incorporate. That's the tough question that I want answered, sir. The LOL, no brother, the solution is us working together.
Smack! Who is this nigga?
Who is this nigga? This nigga said, no, brother, the solution is us working together.
Yeah, I know.
You just talking, bro. Shout out to you, though. I appreciate the engagement. Mr. Q, what up with it? Mr. Q said, if you're not helping people by telling them what to do to fix these issues, then don't bring them up. We are aware that it's other bigger things. We're talking about this, not that. Facts. Like you're acting as if you're bringing some new information to everybody. Hey man, it's stuff in the food and the water. Well, nigga, we know that. Do you have an answer? You don't have the answer, Sway. You don't have the answer, Sway. Do you have any type of solution, bro? That's all I'm asking. Or are you just another bearer of bad news? I don't like walking in the room and being the bearer of bad news. I don't like walking in the room and being the only nigga to point out all the bad. Let's talk. Let me point out all the bad shit. Damn, you got any type of solution or anything to offset some of that negativity or anything to combat any of that, all of the illnesses that you just brought to our attention? No, I just want y'all to know that it's fucked up out there. That's it. That's it, my nigga. Is that all you got? But nah, shout out to y'all, man. We're going to go ahead and call it one, man. Much love. Listen, late bloomer, I hope you didn't take this personal, bro. It's not personal. It's never personal. It's just passion. You feel me? It's no disrespect at all. I'm sure you can tell I never disrespected you or nothing like that, bro. With just a conversation. And by you staying around and responding, I'm sure you already got that and you already know. So I salute you and I appreciate you first and foremost. But I salute everybody. I appreciate the whole entire chat, man. The most aggravating chat in the game. The most appreciated chat in the world. We have been here for some time now. But we got to go ahead and call it one, man. I thank y'all for rocking out. Y'all been getting on my nerves long enough. I've been getting on y'all nerves long enough. It's time for us to part ways. Man, y'all so goddamn aggravating.
So, aggravating as hell, man. You're aggravating. Aggravating, bro.
But y'all so appreciated. The most aggravating chat in the game, the most appreciated chat in the world. Y'all always keep it lit. Y'all always keep it live. If y'all want to continue these conversations, y'all can meet us on the Discord. I'll show you how to get there real quick, but then we're going to get up out of here, man, because we ain't wasting too much time. We've been here long enough. Go to the main page of this channel, right above the subscribe button, right next to that cool ass icon you see right there. You'll see the Discord. All you got to do is click that link, follow the directions. It'll get you right there easily. No problem. You know what I'm talking about? But let me read some more of these chats before we get up out of here. Mr. Q, shout out to you. Late Bloomer, shout out to you. Big Rob from the group home, shout out to you. He said, sounds like a battle rapper. Can't put my name on it. Shit, I wish. He says, why are you hiding? It ain't hiding, bro. If I was hiding, you wouldn't see me. Don't you see me right here? I'm not hiding. I'm in plain sight. Don't you see me right here? This is hiding. See, even then I ain't hiding. Don't you see somebody right there? This is hiding. You see me. It's just not what you expect. I ain't no star. What you need to see my face for? I never really understood The fascination with a man wanting to see another man's face. Why you got a mask on? Because I don't want you looking at me, nigga. I don't want to see you either. See, I would be happy if more of you niggas did podcasts with masks on. I'm trying to watch for the bitch. Excuse my language, women. Sorry, ladies. I apologize. I'm trying to watch for the queen. And then, like this Van Lathan podcast we were looking at. I'm trying to watch for the little slim-bodied queen up there. And Van Lathan got his ugly ass all in the camera and shit. Nigga, we ain't come for you, nigga. Nah, really, I'm just talking shit, man. We here for the conversation, bro. That's all. It's about the convo. It ain't about the host. It's about the people. You know what I'm saying? And you don't put a face on it. It ain't about the host. It ain't about me, bro. That's all. Don't take my shit talk to, you know what I'm saying? Mike Dunn says that he wants to get put up out of here. And this guy wants to get put up out of here. What is this bitch ass nigga talking about? Oh yeah, you could go too. Hold on. Let me get your bitch ass up out of here. Nah, don't respect now after you just talked all that shit, nigga. Fuck all that. I don't like that. I don't know. I guess I could, let me see. Let me bring him back and see if he cussed me out after I just said what I said, which don't matter. You can or can't. It don't matter. I'm gonna let you know. It don't matter. We never gonna see each other. I'm never gonna do nothing to you. You never gonna do nothing to me. So us being mad don't matter. We just two niggas on the internet. It don't matter. So don't get mad, nigga. Cause it don't matter. You on the internet. What the fuck we gonna do to each other? Nothing. Cause I'm never gonna look for you. Ever. The fuck? Young Saul, what up with it? Hey, nah, what up with it? Shark Skim, what up with it? JMC, what up with it? Late Bloomer, what's up? Osias, what's up? I hope I said that name wrong. Mike from the Ville, what up? Gloria Lowe, what up? Bon Bon, what up? Toro Azul, what up? I hope I'm saying these names right. Damn, did I say I hope I said that wrong? I think I said that name wrong. I hope I'm saying it right. My fault, y'all. No disrespect, man. Jesus Christ. Big Guap, what up? Gun B, what up? Damon Garner, what up with it? Big Guap say, fuck all them. Honestly, Colin started protests because Nessa fucked one of his teammates at the time before she dated him. Oh, fuck. Is that really what happened? I love when the chat get on that bullshit, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love y'all, man. This shit be fun as hell, man. I hope nobody don't take none of this shit personal, bro. You ever argue with your cousin or a family member or a friend? Be like, man, fuck you. Man, fuck you. And then later on, y'all like smoking or hooping or playing the game together or beating somebody else up or some shit like that. That's all. Denise, what up? XO Mills, what up? David James, what up? R. Hughes, what up? See-Through, what up? PVE Dre Day, what up? Jermaine Flowers, what up? Did I say R. Hughes? If not, what up? Only One Rain, what up? Only One Zane, excuse me, Zane. My apologies, sweetheart, queen. Damn, boy, you can't be talking like that, my sweetheart. You don't know this lady, boy. She might be sitting there with her man, and you talking about sweetheart? That's offensive. I apologize. Listen, I'm a work in progress. I am far from perfect. I don't apologize for not being perfect. I just apologize if I do or say anything offensive. That's never my shtick. I don't come on here to offend people. I know you see a mask and you think, oh, this guy's about to be off the wall. He's about to say all the disrespectful shit. He's about to say everything. He feels safe behind that mask. If y'all pay attention, bro, I don't rock out like that. I just don't want to be seen. I don't do extreme takes and all that shit. I ain't trying to have no extreme take. I say exactly how I feel about what the situation is. And sometimes I hold back. I dial back because I have a mask on. You know what I mean? I can't be too overly critical when I'm not. I can't be too overly critical of people, even though they're choosing to put themselves in the public eye. When I'm sitting here with a mask, it's like it. If I get to a point to where I start talking disrespectful or something like that, it's not going to be respected because I'm going to look at it that way. Who is this nigga with a mask disrespected? Like if I'm telling niggas, I'll pull up on you and all that weak ass shit. I look weak as fuck. I will feel weak as fuck with a mask on saying I'm a real nigga. I'll pull up on you, fuck. You don't want to see me. Oh, you can't see me. I got a mask on. You know what I'm saying? That shit corny, bro. That shit be corny. So I don't go that. I'm not on here disrespecting artists and talking bullshit about these people who are, nigga, I know that they rich and I'm not, nigga. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm just doing he say, why you stop battle rapping? Did I ever battle rap? I wish I did. Shit. Then I wouldn't have to wear this mask. I have an identity. I don't have no internet identity. That's why I got a mask on. I don't want to be approached in Walmart. You walk up on me in Walmart, nigga, I might fuck around and have to goddamn. Oh shit, I didn't know that was a supporter, officer. Yes, can you please come? We had an incident. Somebody approached me in a very aggressive manner and I had to do like the baby. Y'all know who the baby is? Y'all know the baby. Yeah. Had to smoke a nigga in Walmart. I don't want to mess around and have to smoke somebody in Walmart because of an opinion I had on the internet that they just didn't agree with. Or they just approach in the wrong manner and I'm not so understanding or approachable at that time. You feel me? You never know what's going on. You could be with family, be going through something, I don't want to misunderstand and end up doing something. Everybody's not meant to be a star. That don't mean you can't do the work. That don't mean you can't do star quality work. That don't mean you can't find a position, but everybody don't want to be a star as well. Everybody don't want to be famous. I don't want fucking fame. Fuck fame, nigga. I would rip this mask off if I wanted to be famous. But shout out to y'all, man. Which battle rapper do you think I am, Big Rob? That's funny as fuck, bro. I wish I could, I wish I knew who he thought I was so I can do some comparisons. That's funny. I'm very into battle rap though, Big Rob. So it's funny that you say that because I'm a big battle rap fan. I was a huge battle rap enthusiast at one time, but that shit started getting watered, man. And I fell away. I fell away from it. He said, I know you had dreads. Oh yeah, I know you don't know me. For one, I never battle rapped ever in life. For two, I've never had dreadlocks. Nigga, my hair don't even grow like that. You know, my hair grows compacted and it probably would be great for dreads if I wasn't old and thin. And now that I'm old and thin and it's too late. But nigga, I never had dreads. So I'm gonna just let you know, Big Rob, whoever you thought I was, you wrong for two reasons. I never, ever, ever in my life battle rapped. Ever. But I am a big enthusiast. And I never, ever, ever, ever in my life had dreadlocks, bro. So go ahead. And nigga say it sounded like Rum. Rum Nitty? That's my nigga. I don't know him personally. I'm too fat to be Rum Nitty, bro. Look at pause. A nigga got a mask on basically saying, don't look at me. Now I'm about to say, look at me. Look at my fucking friend. Look at this motherfucking big ass arm. Nigga, Rum Nitty arm could never be this goddamn motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Rum Nitty could never. The fuck, nigga. Rum Nitty could never, nigga. Fuck you mean? He could never. Shout out to y'all though, man. Earl Monroe says after Cap took the settlement and never spoke on why he took the knee in the NFL again. That's a fact. Earl Monroe said, so Earl Monroe is saying that the NDA might be some truth to it. Is that life for the fam? Life for fam says fame is creepy as fuck, bro. Shit, I ain't even trying to know. But watching from the outside in, I definitely see. David says Jay-Z got rid of the gay artist look. Riley the Great says you're absolutely right. That's fear mongering. Facts in my eyes. Earl Monroe says what Jay-Z lie about. Head fake. Musa King says play that again. Which one did I play? I don't even remember. Mel says, I reserve the right to be wrong. Facts. All right, y'all think we all caught up? It's time to get up out of here, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all the rest of y'all day, and I'm gonna go take the rest of mine. We will be back tomorrow. We gotta go ahead and I got some work I gotta get done. That's none of y'all business. That's neither here nor there. You guys meet us in the Discord if you want to chop it up for a little bit. Afterwards, we'll be in there for a short amount of time. We do have a members only room that we spend more of the time in, but every now and then you'll catch us in Discord riding out, and we might ride out for a little while. So if y'all want to chop it up, get in the Discord, go to the chop it up section. We might meet you there. Don't meet me there, beat me there, because if I go and I'm the first one, I ain't going in no more. I'm not gonna keep being the first one in Discord, nigga, and I'm the one coming off the live like I'm hanging around and shit. Y'all got me f***ed up, nigga. No. It don't work like that. But listen, shout out to y'all. Cause y'all could be in Discord now while I'm finna end this shit. Y'all could already be talking, cussing each other out, debating, showing each other new songs, discussing politics, all kind of shit before I even get there. Y'all don't gotta wait for the team. Y'all don't gotta wait for the team. That shit open 24/7. But anyway, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Follow us on TikTok. We going live tomorrow on TikTok. We'll be here tomorrow, but tomorrow as well, we are going live on TikTok with the Rick Ross album review. Rick Ross's album drops tomorrow. We will be doing a full live review on TikTok tomorrow. We're gonna run through the entire album. We ain't gonna be stopping no songs. We're gonna let it play. I might pause it here and there just to introduce the next song, but we're gonna let it play, listen through in its entirety. I'm going to speak here and there just to give my thoughts on it, but for the most part, it's a review run through. So we don't have to be there long. Just come through, hear the album, get in the chat, let us know, is you sleeping or sliding? This how we doing over there. We got the sleep or slide or sleep. You either drop the slides if it's fire, or you drop that sleep emoji if you ain't fucking with it. Get over there on TikTok. Make sure y'all rocking out with us. Make sure y'all following. We having hella fun over there, all right? Other than that, listen, we're going to go ahead and call it one. It's been a great one. W chat. W y'all. Love to y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all the most aggravating chat in the game, but the most appreciated chat in the world. Understand when I say that? I mean that.
So aggravating as hell, man.
No content creator is nothing without the support of the people. I know you might go a lot of places in the chat, don't ever get this much love. That's because they ain't like us. We trying to start a trend. Hopefully it'll catch on, and your favorite content creator, make him do the same. Make her do the same. Make them do the same. Make them show y'all some love and put some respect on y'all, all right? Because no content creator is nothing without the support of the people. We can't watch, like, share, subscribe, donate to our videos. We can't do that 100 times, 1,000 times, 100,000, a million. We can't do that. These videos reach the numbers they do. We get the engagement we get. Engagement. Pause. Fuck. Fuck. We can't get that engagement without you all. Yes, it's the same name on TikTok. I appreciate you, Storm. I appreciate you. The Storm, Alicia Barnes. Oh shit, this sound like a boxer or something, or like she do something. But all you do, you can go to the main page, click the links right here, go down to the link trees, click that link tree link. And all of the socials will be right there. The Rumonati shop as well. So you guys can go get you some of this good merch at 20% off. I identify as a multimillionaire merch and official Rumonati shop merch, 20% off all month. But you see, all the socials are here. PayPal as well, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Cash App is there too, in case you guys were wondering. All you got to do is click the link. It'll take you right there. I promise. Y'all already know. Link tree for the win. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Though we gonna call it one. Oh, that's also how you get to the Discord too. Make sure y'all join that Discord, man, because we there after this stream. Thank you to the mods. Put you guys through it today. Thank you to the most aggravating chat in the game, the most appreciated chat in the world. Thank y'all, family. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for everybody who sacrificed $1. Whether it's $1 or multiple dollars. Thank you for everybody who sacrificed $1 to help keep the lights on, to help keep the tent rent paid, and keep the green tea funded, man. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I can say that 10,000 times, but y'all know me. These outros be long as hell. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up like my bro said. I reserve the right to be wrong, but that's only room for human error. I will never set you out on purpose. And like I say, and like this hat say, which you can get on the link tree, go get you some of this merch. In this world full of choices, people want to be cats, dogs, men, women, and Crayola crayons, and they weren't born that. And we are forced to respect their choices. We are forced to respect their identities. So respect my choice and join me with the new identity, because we're going to speak it into existence while we put in the work to get there, right? I identify as a multimillionaire, and if they got a bathroom, they got to give us a cash register. Other than that, this the RUMORNATI Network. We out this motherfucker. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.